Yep.
Yo, people, what it do? It's your boy DA. Y'all know how I play. Y'all know I'm coming for real, man. Um, I don't even know where to go with this introduction, so I won't even fuck around. I remember a couple weeks ago I had some black excellence in the room. I would even go so far as to say that this trumps that, not to disrespect anybody that's ever graced this space. But I got some very intelligent men in the room, and we're gonna talk about everything worth talking about. We're gonna talk about growth. We're gonna talk about leveling up, leadership, purpose. We're just gonna touch on everything, man, that we need to talk about as black men in a room and enjoy each other. But without even dragging on too far, man. Y'all hear cold, so y'all know what mood I'm in already. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Let them tell you how to find them on whatever outlets that they want you to find them on, and if not, they just want to stay hidden. So it is what it is. I'm I'm elated to have these brothers in here, man. One that I've recently just met today, but I've known them, heard about them, known of them. You know what I'm saying? But just actually sitting down today with them, man, and chopping it up. So it is what it is. It's your boy D8. I just want to talk. Same. What's up, baby?
Man, it's good being here, man. I'm just happy to be here. Excited,
Okay.
seeing you in your growth, you in the middle of your glory, on your glow up, man. So this is special for me to
Yes.
be able to be here, man.
Man, I'm glad to have you. Tell the people what you do, man. It's hard to find you, man. I be texting and calling you like I'm one of your women or something. You know what I'm saying? What's to you, man? What's
Well,
the
for
what,
real,
what you got
man.
going on?
Man, currently, I just finished working with a record executive for RCA. I was between LA, Atlanta. Now I'm back here. You know what I'm saying?
Back at the crib.
Back at the crib to like recharge.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Before I get deployed back out to another spirit that I'm gonna work with. You know what I'm saying?
Man, call it what it is.
So celebrity chef, celebrity trainer, if that's what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm just
A micronutritionist.
oh, micro, macro,
Man,
all of that. You
I
know what I'm
seen you
saying?
break
That's
down
got
a
a ring.
recipe, dude. I was like, I'm never gonna be in shape, man.
Man, you know what it's all about, man. I was in a heated debate not too long ago, and I want to thank that individual. I'm not gonna say any names, but he thought he was belittling me by saying I was a servant of men.
Okay.
And you know what? I had to just smile and laugh at that and say, you know what? I am.
I mean, we all are.
Facts.
On my soul.
In some light, right?
Some
We
shape
should
or
be.
form.
Absolutely.
Well, here, hold that thought, man. Let me slide down the way. Butter, what's up, man?
What's goody?
Man, where you be hiding at, man?
I'm
what's,
low,
what's
man.
to it, man?
I'm in the shadows.
That's the best place to be, especially when you come out with the brightest light in the room.
Raja Ghul.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was born in the dark.
Yes, sir. I've been low, man. I've been chilling. It's a blessing to be here, man. Thank you for having us, and man, I'm excited. This is good energy right here already. I can feel it. These are my brothers, so this is easy. This is childhood. This is my
On my
So
soul.
this is perfect timing.
It definitely looks good. It feels good. And without further ado, the incomparable Mr. Amos.
Man, what's good, everybody? How y'all doing?
Ace Boogie.
Ace Boogie for real.
I'm
you
excited.
shining.
I'm excited to be here, man. Same reached out and asked to come jump on a podcast, and I'm super excited about it. I'm like butter, man. I stay out the way, bro. I stay behind the scenes.
That's the real way, man.
I
That's the real
believe
way,
in staying in the trenches, man, right on the front lines.
That's the
man.
real
I'm
way.
one of them, undercover generals, so to speak.
That's right.
Hey.
That believe in
Hey.
leading the troops
Call
from
it
the
how you
front
see
lines
it.
as
He's a
opposed
general.
to
Yeah.
behind the scenes in the office somewhere. Nah, I'm right where we need to be, right on the front line. So
We working.
I'm all about that work, bro. Put in them reps.
I like how y'all staying busy, man.
Got
Each
to.
individual. All too often I'm very humbled, man, by y'all presence. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. Just simply because you don't run across greatness too often. and I'm not even saying that I'm great, but I can give credit where credit is due. I just posted that the other day. I like to give credit where credit is due, but I won't applaud a fish for swimming. Man, you dudes is like swimming marathons.
That's deep right there. That's deep.
Y'all not swimming, man. In y'all own right, man. Y'all definitely tearing y'all paths apart, man. And it's not too many people that can hold a candle. And just to sit in the room and have you men in the room with me, I'm grateful.
You know what it is for me, and I don't know if I can speak for everybody, you included too, because you are great too. For me, once I found what my gift was, and finding your gift and finding your purpose for me is two totally different things.
Okay.
I knew I found my gift cooking in the kitchen at a young age, watching my mom's.
Shout out to Mrs. Sane, by the way.
Absolutely.
Super shout.
Indeed.
And then
Definitely kept a lot of us in line.
Kept all us fed.
For as long as she
And
could.
Diane, we all love you, moms. But yeah, cooking at a young age with my mom.
Yeah.
And then after high school, going to culinary school, and I realized I wasn't the smartest when it came to like the book knowledge and things like that, French terms and stuff like that.
Okay.
Other people were just blowing me out of the water when it came to taking tests. But when it was time to go in the kitchen and like create,
Get busy.
when it's time to get busy, it just came easy to me. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of mentors when I was in school, but I knew that something was just a little bit easier for me than other people. And then working on that, and then later on in life finding out like, well, damn, like my purpose is to help people, you know, be more well-rounded, be
Okay.
more health conscious, you know,
Okay.
find a way for somebody to be able to enjoy a meal.
Yeah.
And it has a dual purpose. You're enjoying your meal. It's helping you stay on your diet and discipline, and you enjoying it.
So you just incorporated the two
Absolutely.
into one, and that became your purpose. Because I mean, you used the word several times. I was waiting. I was gonna try to break in and use it before he did, man. But say he slid in there. But I mean, speaking to that purpose, is that what led you to where you are today?
No, you know what? Yeah, my purpose, man. So we starting early. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing that I understand is that my purpose is also connected to my destination in life.
Okay. Speak
And
to that.
also your destination is also your destiny too. And so that's why there's times where you can be in life, at least for me, I started doing cheesecakes. Everybody loved my cheesecakes. I was too
Myself.
afraid to actually start a business
Okay.
because I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I had, you know, the right means to get it up and going. So I quit doing it.
What brought you back to it?
My destiny.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because your destiny will always pull you, even when you off course. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you're being successful at ComEd, you making six figures, you know, for my family, you know, my mom, my dad, they were proud. Like, man, you know, he's got that good job because you don't quit ComEd.
You definitely don't quit comment.
But outwardly, I was successful to everybody else, but I was depressed and tormented inside because
Your soul wasn't being fed.
absolutely.
So is that let me break away from you for a little bit. Is that how you feel about music, brother?
Music is definitely a passion.
Okay.
And it is a gift for me. It's something that that I've always been involved in, whether it was dance or
I definitely remember you was the
yeah,
footwork king.
yeah.
Indeed.
You sparked.
We got
He was
busy.
Big Word.
Man,
Before he was
indeed.
Big Word. He was
Shout out J-Town Impact.
Indeed.
Big facts.
Hey, hold on. Let's
You
pause
you
for
gonna
a
bring it
second.
back
Hey,
real
yo.
You gotta
quick.
know that
Hey, yo.
you know if you throwing
Yeah.
that out there. That
You gotta know.
going back
Straight
a
up.
little
When he
But-
said J-Town Impact,
Indeed.
boy,
We
you
got
gonna get
busy.
somebody mama in trouble this weekend.
Boy, listen,
So see,
pull them
that
old
ain't
pictures
me.
out where they at.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people knew me early on at a young age from dancing, and then dance actually led me into a studio and my love for music just exploded at that point. And then you know, I started producing and writing music, and it came so easy. It was a gift and definitely a passion. And I tell people always ask me, man, you still do music? Or they see me in the studio?
Yeah.
Or they may see me go live or something and see me in the studio. And I always tell people, man, you know, for me, I'm an artist. I'm always going to be an artist. I'm a creator.
Okay.
And you know, it's better for me now because I'm blessed and I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to do music and chase it for $1. So it's really true. You know what I mean? It's no different if I was a painter and I painted pictures. Whether I'm selling that painting or not, I'm still an artist.
Oh, my soul.
You know, so that's where the music is. But
So let me ask you this really quick. So do you think that your gift and your passion is the same thing? Because I know a lot of people that are passionate about doing stuff that they're really not good at.
well,
Oh, you playing?
well, hold on, because you can some people you can have a passion for something. It's not the same thing. You can have a passion for something that you are horrible at,
Correct.
and you just love it.
Well, I think that's kind of what he just said.
Yeah. So that's true. For me, they are two different things, but I'm passionate about my gift.
Okay.
I could say that.
I like that.
But I'm also, you know, I have
still in that.
I would say, man, you should put that on a T-shirt.
That's what I was just thinking.
Just send me my coins.
Be passionate about your gift.
But I'm just as passionate about my business
Okay.
as I am my music. You know, and for those who don't know, I own a construction company, utility underground construction company, and I do a lot of work all over the Chicagoland area, and I've just been blessed.
Don't
Just say
downplay that, though.
I was getting ready to
That's what I was
say.
gonna
Hold
say.
on.
No,
Let's
Somebody's
pause.
full of shit.
Before I pass the buck to
humble.
Amos, let me just say, bro, it's nothing wrong with humility, but talk your shit when it's
a
time
fact.
to.
Fact.
When it's time to. Because listen, this is how crazy this energy is. I'm probably about 16 months from breaking ground on a grocery store on the east side.
Well, that's huge.
And how does that work?
That's
now? You
huge.
see that?
You-
So you definitely got to speak to that.
But to your point, though, one of the things that I've learned in the environment that I'm in on a day-to-day basis is that you always have to have your 30-second elevator speech ready to go.
Yeah,
And you
facts.
can't be afraid to smack somebody on the head with it, like
Facts.
real talk. Like, so when you get a chance to pub your shit, like, bro, like,
Talk.
don't downplay it, like, oh, because I made that mistake, right?
Okay.
I'm humble and I'm modest at heart. But, bro, if you got the glow, nigga, if you Leroy, then you Leroy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Definitely.
Y'all know
Oh,
me,
you
man.
got
I be in the
black-owned
shadows.
construction
I told you I be in the shadows.
And that's
But we gonna
cool.
talk.
I don't want y'all to know about this black-owned construction company. That is
Man,
a rarity.
listen.
You know what
Listen.
I'm saying?
we gonna talk.
Listen.
We gonna talk. No, I'll say this. You know, I'm in a space that sometimes I literally am in awe on like multiple times throughout the week, and it is when you see me in this humble state, that's because I'm so appreciative of where I am.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm very trust me. Those who know me or follow me on IG, you know I do talk my shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when we talking about passion, I'm passionate about what I do and what I'm able to accomplish and the people that I'm able to provide opportunities to.
Okay.
And so that is something definitely that's dear to my heart. We're gonna get into it. You know what I mean?
Definitely will. Speak to it, Amos. What's up with that purpose, man? Let
Man,
us know something.
listen. When we start talking about purpose, and Sane and I, we've chatted about this on so many levels, right? When you start getting into purpose, you know, you really have to know who you are in order to really know what your purpose is, right? And I was telling Sane earlier, I said, man, the only way you really know who you are, you got to do a little bit of exploring. And when we started talking, Butter was talking about the whole J-Town impact piece and what have you. we've all had our experiences in life that have kind of shaped and molded us, right? And if you got to take a second to stop and listen, right, to what your experiences have taught you, because those help to shape and mold you and lead you to where your purpose is, man. And you know, you just got to slow down sometimes and stop, take a second, look back, man, and say, all right, this is who I am, this is where I want to go, and that kind of helps to funnel you into your purpose. I mean, it's deep, man.
It definitely is. I'm sorry to cut you off. Just to the point where he brought up J-Town Impact. You know, he brought up Mrs. Sane. I definitely know you from being from the town. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely from the town myself. Like, it takes a different type of individual. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of speaking to leadership, finding that purpose. Because, like, when you come from where we come from, like, we shouldn't be sitting here right now.
That's a fact.
Like,
Absolutely.
this shouldn't even be a conversation being happening because we should have all lost at some point.
This definitely a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
You know, and we live in some wild lives, but it's, you know, not only that though, I think and one of the things I want to tap into too, we talk about journey and purpose, man. And where we from, when you think about this town, and you know, growing up in Joliet, and there's so many people in our age bracket that I turn around and I look like, man, we all really living some amazing lives.
Yes, for sure.
And it's time to really champion that. It's time for us to celebrate that. That's why I was really excited to be here, because you know, as happy as I am that I'm doing good, man, I'm just as or more happy for this brother. And he gets that from me all the time. He know he get his roses from me. Yeah. You know, and so that's what it's about too. It's about just, you know, celebrating each other, man. We definitely got way more wins than we got celebrations.
I'm a piggyback on that though, right? In the sense that one of the things that's so powerful about this podcast and us documenting things is that, you know, not only do we need to celebrate it, but we also need to give back, right? And that's what I'm so super geeked about being here, in the sense that we all had the OGs on the block, right? And if you don't know what an OG is, you know, original gangster, whatever you want to call it, that's what it stems from. But it's basically that mentor figure, right? Yeah. You know, I ain't gonna do a spoiler alert, but I heard about what be going on in this podcast of yours, and what you got coming up, and just thinking about what's coming up, but to be able to document and give back, right? Because that's what it comes down to, right? Like, when I get to the point to where I'm sitting on a throne and as a king, then a king's whole drive is to have a prince, right?
That's right.
So you keep that lineage going, and you want to teach that young prince everything that you know. And when I say prince, it's genderless, right? I got all daughters, right? I got girls, but my goal, my aim is to teach them so that they can continue to be fruitful, right? To continue to build the legacy,
make that legacy grow.
That's right.
You know what's a really big thing for us and all individuals is finding out who you are. Mm-hmm. Now, dig this: you come out the womb from your mom's.
You went back a while.
I went
man.
back,
older,
but
we older, man. You can't be playing like that.
So dig this: you got to look at the channels. You know what I'm saying? So you come down from your father into your mother and then out of your mother,
right?
And then they give you your name,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Amos, Anthony, Aaron. You know what I'm saying? So, and then based off of their experiences through life and what they found that works and what does not work, they mold you into who they think you should be. So my question is, at what point do you find out who you really are? Because who we thought we were was somebody that should go to college, get a good job, and it was like it's like a 1-2 step dance. You should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But I didn't finish college. I didn't go away to a school, you know what I'm saying? Right. I was still in the trenches.
I'm Ye 2.0. I definitely dropped out. I'm not a genius.
Yo, man, let's debunk the college myth.
Yo, that can be an entire now.
Yeah, that's
y'all want me to talk my shit.
We can
talk. I can talk my shit. Yeah, and I'm not, just for the record, anybody that's in college, I'm not totally against
definitely
it. Here's the thing. We just touched on passion, right? So if your gift and your passion or vice versa, we just talked about they don't have to be the same thing.
Definitely
if your passion leads you to where you have to go that route, I'm all for it.
Definitely.
I'm all. But if you trying to follow the blueprint somebody just gave you, because look, here's the thing. Aaron just talked about finding out who you are. Most people that I talk to that are asking for advice or trying to figure things out, they are stuck between trying to figure out who they want to be and who they supposed to be.
Come
So
on,
these two
come
things,
on.
right?
Who they
so,
see on
so-
the gram.
yeah, so they trying to figure out who they want to be, and those are the things they wishing and hoping for.
Man, I
and then they
swear.
got to think who I'm supposed to be, and that's you supposed to go to college, you supposed to go do you supposed. So I threw out all those rules.
Bro,
my soul.
look, bro. Because one thing that I did find out working for ComEd, which was a great company to work for, your purpose will haunt you.
If you're driven, though, I want to put a disclaimer.
'cause some
out
people-
there,
some
'cause
people accept that.
Some people get lulled to sleep, bro.
Absolutely, because a lot of people get caught up in the chain game.
It's complacency.
Yes,
It's complacency,
but it's-
and
it's
it's
the
the
cha-
comfort. The comfort of money.
It's
The comfort of money.
it's the thought of losing that job.
Yeah.
You know
But-
what I'm saying? And because I know we all got to take care of somebody for
Definitely.
the most part.
Definitely.
But the one thing that I did learn is when you have a job and you're working within the chain gang, you only can work so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the company or your boss will never pay you enough to be his neighbor.
Yeah. Well, you kind of go to gotta stop there. You kind of have to go back to what Butter was saying, man. People get stuck. And he was piggybacking off what you were saying. So you were speaking to how coming out of your parents, coming from your parents, they steer you in a direction where they think you should go. And then you'll get to a point in life where you get stuck in between who you really are and who your parents told you that
Not
you
even
were.
who you really are, though.
Okay.
Who you wanna be.
Oh, okay.
And that's fog. And we talk about smoke and mirrors.
Smoke.
That's really because a lot of people when they start talking about who they want to be,
Right.
they don't even really know who they want to be because they are influenced
By so much
by
stuff
so
around
much stuff around them, and they like, okay, I need to go. I got to get this. I got to go get a Rollie. I got to go get
Yeah.
this. And so they're willing to sacrifice their time, their energy to please other people
Yeah.
so they can fit in. So they're like I said, they stuck between who am I supposed to be, who I want to be, and don't know who they are.
And that's the crazy part about it, man. Because we off camera we was talking, and we were talking about the whole DA thing. We was talking about the whole Aaron Sane thing. You know, at one point in time, I thought that this is who I was supposed to be,
Man, that-
because this is who everybody
Shit,
celebrated.
we all did.
Yeah.
We grew up in the era when like being a thug was like what you wanted to be,
And
right?
it's so
like
crazy because that's the furthest thing from my mind now.
This might be the most I've been called butter in a long time.
I'm so
you know what I
sorry,
mean?
but that's just how I know.
No,
you.
I know it's cool because
Bro,
it's still part of who I am, but it's hilarious.
It's crazy to walk out of your house and for your guys to be right there, but your opponents to be right across the street.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it was. We don't have to go too. We're not going to go too much.
What
into
we
that.
not gonna do is, hey man, listen. Sam be forgetting he lift weights, man. So he keep hitting on my table, man. This is a Wayfair table, man. I'm gonna need
Shout out to Wayfair.
Shout out to Wayfair.
Hey Wayfair, come and get some of this sponsorship, baby.
Yeah.
You know, I
Table
definitely
still
shot at you.
standing.
You know, because this motherfucker got the Mighty Mouse complex.
yeah,
up here.
I heard it all.
Yeah, he doom, man. What you not gonna do is break my table. Yeah, no, definitely not backtracking. But I mean, to your point, coming out your home, your guys being there, your opponents being there, that's like that rut, right? Because they think I'm this, and then they think I'm this, but this is who I want to be. And so you wiggle out and you get away, and then boom, Insane Fit Meals, boom, construction company, boom, studio time, boom, Fortune 500. And it's like, it's such a deviation from what everybody thought you should be. And it's like, well, this is who I am.
But I, I never let that old Aaron. I never completely put him to rest.
You can't though, right?
Absolutely
You
not.
can't.
Because
that's the growth. That's the maturation of who you are right now.
and sometimes he's needed.
Yeah,
Facts.
but I would challenge you on the sense that it's not even an old Aaron, it's Aaron, right? Like Amos is Amos, bro. Like
Yeah.
everything from
You just
Fourth
evolved.
and Richards to
It's
know
part
what
of
I'm
who you
saying?
are.
Champagne to
Did he
to
just drop his
182,
block,
you know
man?
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man, he had to have him going
that's
crazy.
who
Absolutely
I
not.
am.
Not
like,
me.
Like somebody asked me about somebody recently, right? And it was 9 to 5 related, and he was like, man, you know what you think about X, Y, and Z? And I said, my true story. Like I looked at him, I said, bro, I'm from the east side, bro. I'm like from the block. Like
Right.
I grew
Facts.
up on 4th and Richards. Like that says a lot, because
definitely
if you
does.
think about and when we can talk, and it ain't about Fourth and Richards, it ain't about the Hill, it ain't about the South End, like, because it's all
the town.
relevant to the
Wait,
town,
wait,
right?
wait,
But if
Facts.
we well, hold on, but if we talk about
Third and Sherman,
if Third and Sherman too, right? But if we talk about the era that we grew up in, I know we watching Snowfall the shit, bro. Like, that's legit. But if we think about the era that we grew in,
We
man,
relate to that.
Like we relate to that, and it's shaped and molded who
definitely
we are.
do.
So in a
It
sense, like, there ain't no old Aaron, there ain't no old
I see-
Anthony
okay,
or Butter,
I see
there
how you
ain't no
tied that
old
together.
DA. Like
I see how you tied
I'm
it.
Amos, bro. Like I pull that card out in a heartbeat.
know
Like,
what?
I go there.
Because you know
what
what it is? It's yin and yang. It's light, it's dark. It's good, there's evil. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is all light. Don't get it twisted.
Well, no, I think what Amos is saying is just the growth of it all.
Indeed.
Facts. Evolution.
You know what I'm saying? Because light and dark, that's one or the other. That's optional. But what he's saying is you started here, and this is who you kind of.
Yeah, because I'm not the same man that I was at 20.
You better not
You know
be.
what I'm saying? Not
But
like-
here's the thing, because we all the same age.
better not
Like,
be.
we ain't gonna throw no ages out there, but we all the same age. We look good though, but we up there. You know what I'm saying? We fully grown. We'll just say that. I don't want to have a conversation with nobody that they still in the same place they was 20 years ago. I can't
Not
even.
in our age
and here's the
group.
thing, yeah, not right now. So I don't even. That's dangerous for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's dangerous.
Why?
I was on the phone.
But
Listen,
I got too much. I got too much to lose.
I'm just educating the audience on.
Oh, so this is-
I feel you. I feel
This
you
is why.
1000%.
Okay, and I had to learn this too, because I always we were popular in the town.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll say, when you're young, it's fun to move in big groups.
yeah.
It's fun to have a clique. It's, you know what I mean, and it's part of that life. You should enjoy that, right?
Definitely.
But the older I got, and the more I evolved and I grew, and I matured, and finding out who I am, tapping into what you're saying, really
in.
understanding who I am, I realized, man, you know, I don't need to move in big numbers. And then I had to, and we'll get into this because this is a whole nother topic. But I had to realize that I can't be with everybody all the time.
Absolutely.
And no offense, but I have certain principles that I live by now, and if you don't line up with them,
Then I
it's
can't
no
be
love
associated.
lost. But I can't even really,
Can't be
I
associated.
can't be associated with you because energy, you know
Energy
what I
is
mean?
real big. I was on the phone with one of my guys the other night, and I mean it's cliche-ish, right? You hear that one thing, you know, surround yourself by the people that you see yourself being.
That's a fact.
And you know what I'm saying? We was on the phone. I won't say who he is because I mean it was a real personal situation. But he called me, bro. And my wife would tell you it's like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. He get me out the bed and I leave the room. And the conversation, bro, made me so emotional that he called me and told me that I'm like one of the only few people in his life that he can talk to on a certain level. But and this dude, when I tell you financially, this in life and business, he trumps me. But he always tells me that my ceiling, I'm one of the only people that he knows that my ceiling is higher than
Yeah.
he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And bro, in a way, it kind of scares you. So maybe that's what gets people stuck in that in between. But by the same token, I look at it as like Amos said, that growth. Like I'm not DA anymore. I've just kind of grown out of DA, and now if I gotta pull DA out for any
he
reason,
right there, ready to
you know
go.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. You
Hey,
come
lady,
looking for
here.
him. You come
DA,
looking for him. You might find
holla
Get in
him.
here real quick.
Holla at me.
Get in here real quick.
Make
You know what I'm saying?
no
To handle this
mistake.
situation from you. Then, you know, the Italian take off all the business attire, you know. So, yeah, definitely, man, to that, man. But you actually touched on something, too, when you were talking, man, where you were saying, smoke and mirrors a little bit ago. It's not what it seems.
Never.
A lot of what we see is not what it seems.
Never.
So speak to that a little bit. Let me start with Amos because you know what I'm saying. I'm ready for that 17 to kick in.
Man, listen, if I get my Jada Kiss verses on in this month, don't judge me, okay? You know what I'm saying? Getting a little hot in here. No. But I think the difference between this era and the era that we grew up in, and no disrespect to this era, because that's just a part of evolution, right?
Okay.
But this era is more about the smoke and mirrors in regards to meaning it's easy for me to get my best dress fit on, throw something on the gram, throw something on Snap, and then whatever. But nobody's putting in the work. Like I said before, off camera. You know, everybody want to be the billionaire Kanye, right? Everybody want to be the billionaire Jay. Everybody want to be the Meek that then came through, did his thing. Everybody want to be the money bag yo, right? But nobody wants to be that money bag when he in the studio, you know what I mean, grinding it out. Nobody want to be the South Side of Shy Kanye when he a little lad learning how to mix them records up and chop it up, right? So in regards to smoke and mirrors, I'm a big advocate for putting in the work, man. Like you got to get them reps in. Yeah. Whatever your lane is, like
Butter, man, talk your shit, man, because you put the work in. For that,
like you know, in my 9 to 5, bro. Like I'm whatever in my 9 to 5, but like I feel confident with where I am and who I am because my resume speaks for it. Not only from a professional perspective, but from what I went through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I came from, you know what I mean? Like came through the block, you know what I mean? Like hooped on the squad, all of the above. Went to school, been there, done that. Smoked, drank, like was in the mix, right?
So let me ask you this, because there was a period of time when you went away to college. So when you went away and when you came back, what was your thoughts?
Man, I think going away was one of the best experiences I had in regards to, like, you know, there's no place like home. You always gonna have that love, like man, it's the block. You know what I'm saying? You, like Butter said, we was popular. You know, you popping like you the man. But when you go away, it forces you to reinvent yourself, so to speak, right? You gotta prove that you can do it again, right? And going away in a lot of respects proved to me that I could do it again,
right?
But I also had the opportunity to reinvent myself with what I wanted to be, right? Like, cause you, like we were just talking, you fight between, you know, where my passion is or what I want to do, right? So going away gave me the opportunity to really sit back and dial in and focus. Okay, you know what? This is who I want to be. This is where I want to go. And it was one of the best experiences that I had, in all honesty. So then when I came back to the town, it's always gonna be all love. But I realized that the world was such a much bigger place, right? And that's why I say, you know, when you start to understand that shit, it's a lot more stuff out there to do. Like, you know what I mean? You just have a greater appreciation, I guess, so to speak.
And you know what? When you go off on a solo mission, bro, that's when you find yourself, and that's when growth happens. And I like to use the analogy of Zelda, the video game. You know what I'm saying? Because in the video game, you know,
Aaron telling our age, man. I didn't get on this dude time.
You know what I'm saying?
I just had a whole visual of that real quick. Like music and all,
but you know what I'm saying? I mean, to people that may not know the video game, I mean, just the gist of it is a young man leaving his house with just his sword and a backpack. You know what I'm saying?
On his journey.
And you know what I'm saying? There was things that there was strengths inside of me and powers that I had that I did not know, because being within my comfort zone, there was no need for me to pull that sword out. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get out in the middle of LA, you know, working with different individuals and stuff of high profile and with groups of people, you start to learn a lot about yourself. And I really learned that, man, I'm really just a simple person. I thought that I wanted all these things to go along with it and this type of image and stuff like that, until you really in it and you be like, man, damn, man, I really don't need all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So just even with that, like when you left to go on that journey, did you know? Like, did you have an idea, or did you just say, I'm leaving the crib with my sword, whatever comes may?
I'm going to say this, man. When I really start honing in on my gift and my cooking skills and stuff like that, and God gave me a window of opportunity with my purpose, bro, I took off.
And
I ran.
There was no second thought.
No second thought.
You got to remember, he talked about this a little bit, but he walking away from a 6-figure job.
Right.
I remember that conversation because we both that's similar. Before I started my construction company, I was very successful working for somebody else before I was an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Or before I was an entrepreneur in that space. I've always been some sort of entrepreneur.
So that's what I'm saying. Was that scary for you though? Like
It was terrifying. You know what I mean?
he's like, nigga, fucking
Look,
scary.
look, what I'm
terrified.
not what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and get on that fear is not real.
Nah, it's real.
Nigga, fear is real,
On my
bro.
soul.
You know what I'm saying? And people, because what people like to do is they like to talk from a space of they've been successful and they've been at a high level
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I'm talking, man, bro. Fear is
don't like
real,
that.
especially when you betting it all on yourself. But the one thing I knew, I was like, man, you know what? I got a year deal with this guy. And I'm just going, I know if I can get Nick to follow my program.
Nick Cannon, by the way, everybody. Nick
Man,
Cannon.
shout out to Nick Cannon, man.
He dropped because he know him by Nick. I just want to y'all telling me to talk my shit. He just mentioned it. Oh, if I can get Nick.
Hey, you said it personally.
That's
Hey,
Mr. Cannon, everybody.
You used to giving that man his roses. Hey, man, don't be humble, man. That's huge. It was a time, man, where it got to me. You know what I'm saying? That you was working with Nick. You had some things going on with Fantasia.
Yeah.
We all seen, the whole Aaron Donald experience, and now James Conner and Bud Dupree, bro. Like, I mean, just like for Butter to have the construction company, and we only spoke to. Amos, you working for Fortune 500. We won't dig off into it unless you want to.
I mean, I ain't really dive into it, but
Amos has
you
stuff
know,
in the works. Do not let him cap
the
down.
funny thing is that like my story is a little bit opposite in respects because I've been an entrepreneur. I still am, right?
Okay.
I still dabble. I'm a tradesman at heart. I'm a
Okay.
creative. Went to school for architecture.
Talk that shit.
Did a
See,
little
man,
bit. With,
y'all being so quiet, bro, and I'm gonna need y'all when it comes to building this goddamn
We just
grocery store.
listen.
You know
We just happy to be here. That's all it is.
Look, dig this, because he ain't gonna say it. You got your master's, right?
I'm about 30 hours outside of it.
crazy.
But dig this. He was driving to U of I
We ain't gotta
every
go there.
day while
We
working
ain't gotta
full
go
time
there.
to get
We
his
ain't gotta
degree.
do that.
Man, why we ain't gotta do
Oh, we
that?
gotta
do
talk
that.
about the grind.
I'm
On
gonna
my soul.
tell y'all the motivation behind it. I remember talking to my grandma one time, man, and God bless my grandma. She's still on this earth, doing very well. Shout out to Miss Beatrice Redmond down in Georgia.
Shout out.
The fried corn.
Indeed, fire. I know y'all know about that fried corn with a little banana pepper in there. Anyhow, I was just telling my grandma, she would talk about the experience that she grew up in, growing up in Mississippi, right? So I said to myself, like, if my grandma grew up like that way back when, what's it to me to take a year off work where I need to work, and drive to Champaign back and forth every day? And that's what I did for a whole year. Like, I got kicked out of college. I ain't ashamed of it. I went to U of I, and pause. I didn't get kicked out because I was kicking it. I got kicked out because I was overextended with trying to be great. Right, I was a VP of NOMAS, which is the National Organization of Minority Architecture Students, turned president, a part of the Inclusion and Diversity Board at the U of I way back when, right? So we can go down I&D road if y'all want to, but I've been in the trenches for a long time, right?
Again, Amos is trying to tell people how old we are. What's to y'all?
I didn't get kicked out because I was kicking it. I got kicked out because I was overstretched. I had my oldest daughter, you know what I mean? I had her when I was in college. I was overextended, right? So when I chose to go back, I was thinking about conversation with my grandma. Like, man, I was thinking about my granddad came up here as a bootlegger from Mississippi. Like, so if that generation did that, I was like, what more can we do with all the resources? And I'm going to challenge your listeners and all the young listeners, what are y'all going to do? Because it's this quote that I read when I was sitting in the library a long time ago, and y'all can apply it to whatever y'all craft is, but it said, every generation of architects has the responsibility to articulate a purpose through building, right? So y'all got to articulate a purpose on what y'all want to do through whatever y'all craft is. You know what I mean?
Let me say this to follow that. Because I agree with everything he said except one thing. I say fuck motivation. Motivation is not real. motivation is a mirage. Because I tell
You got to hit this home run.
Oh, trust me.
You got to hit
Trust
this home
me.
run.
Because look, dig this. When I got in the greatest shape of my life, I wasn't motivated every day to eat chicken, rice, and tilapia. I wasn't motivated to go to the gym twice a day on 50 grams of carbs and go work a 16-hour shift. He wasn't motivated to drive the U of I every day. He was inspired.
Oh.
That's a big
Motivation
difference.
is not real, bro.
Man,
big
I
difference.
need to get that home run. Or,
It's a big difference.
Okay, let me. You got the sound effects, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen.
he definitely hit a home run with that
He
one.
brought that home because I was like, he
right
kind of
there.
fucking up my
Right
next
there.
spiel. You know what I mean? So I'm with that. I relate
I
to
love
that.
how you did
I
that,
won't.
yeah.
I won't say motivation is not real though, because I think.
It could be a spark plug to get the engine started.
Yeah, but what I think is you have to ask and you have to
This
truly
nigga snaps his
identify.
power.
You have to truly identify what is your motivation. What are you motivated by?
On my soul.
And you got to break down all of that. A lot of times people just I need to get motivated. When I got in, I lost a ton of weight, got myself in shape. Right,
Yeah.
I went through a 1 year. I don't know what. God, the molecules in my body.
Molecular is the word you were looking for, my friend. Molecular.
I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, I had a year of just gaining weight. It came out of nowhere,
Right.
And I tapped into wanting to be healthy and get myself back in shape. But what I did was I did not get a gym partner,
Okay.
right? Because I wanted to hold myself accountable.
Oh, you going
Okay,
somewhere.
so and
going somewhere.
Is he playing with that motivation?
so
he playing,
I had to I wanted to self motivate,
Okay.
right? And I wanted to have a true purpose of what I wanted to do with a end goal, right? So tapping into what he just said, when I got myself in shape, I wasn't motivated anymore, right? So his motivation had lapsed. It ended because he reached a goal.
reached the
So
goal he was
there's
looking
nothing wrong with being motivated to reach a goal, and then if once you reach that goal, you have to constantly challenge
And that's where
yourself.
that inspiration comes.
Yeah. You
that's
have.
where
What
that
are you with?
inspiration
What are
comes. I see how
so?
you tied that together.
So because some people need motivation,
Yeah.
you know, but you got to find that in yourself. If you constantly depending on somebody else to motivate you to get up and get stuff
something
done, that may work for a little bit, but that get old.
Yeah, that's
On my
gonna
soul.
run. That's gonna run
On my
out.
soul.
That get old. And so there's another thing I want to talk about while we on this subject is accountability, right? And
we go.
not just self accountability. So I told myself, anybody that's in my circle, I have a responsibility to hold them accountable for what they're telling me they want. So if you have somebody that's around you and they constantly telling you something, man, I just want to do it. If you're not holding them accountable, if you picking them up every weekend to go hang out and y'all not sitting down having no power conversations, oh, you just as more fucked up as he is in my mind.
No. And he just hit that home because my boy Aaron Sane, we sat out in front of my house one day. My boy Aaron Sane, my boy Aaron Pierce. We sat out in front of my house one day. He just kept saying, I got to get something started. Man, you got the grocery store. You got the podcast. You got these movie scripts. You want a whole production. I got to get something started. Man, when I get something started, I said, nigga, quit fucking saying you want to get something started and pinpoint
Let's do it.
what your purpose is. Go on that journey and make it happen.
Because look, let me tell you something. If you chop away,
Hey man, Butter finna be a motivational speaker, man. This dude just
I'm with it.
inspired me to be
I'll
great.
sign- I'll sign up.
He talked that
if
talk.
if you doing something daily,
Yeah.
5 small steps on a daily basis will always outbeat somebody that's saying someday I'm gonna do a lot.
Come on.
Man, I say all the time at work, man, I tell people on the daily, I'm going to leave you with 2 takeaways, right? Because if you give people too many things to do, they get lost,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to give you 2 things. Here, you go work on this 1 or 2 things. And then when you get them done, circle back. I give you another 2. Give you another 2.
Because a lot of times people be wanting the whole recipe to something, but the one thing that I try to that I started on was personal leadership, and leadership never starts with a group of people. Leadership always starts with yourself.
He
On my
spoke
soul.
to it. Butter
On
spoke
my
to
soul.
it.
On my soul.
He definitely spoke to that in regards to like you know, we always want somebody else to do the work for us, man. We don't want to put them reps in. We don't want to pay them bills to get your credit right. You know, we don't want to go ahead and build on relationships. We don't want to do that. We want somebody else to do it for us.
And why is that? Because here's the thing that I've learned. So I talk to a lot of people, and I'm if somebody is asking a question or inquiring about how to become more successful, how to get themselves together, I'm always open to that, right?
I love that though.
I'm always open to that. And so I always ask myself, why I used to ask myself, why are people afraid? And then I had to realize I was that guy. We all were them guys.
We all were.
Amos spoke about his grandma. I'm gonna talk about my father for a minute.
Okay.
So I lost my father to cancer.
Sorry to hear that, boss.
And thank you, brother. And my father, for the last 2 years of his life, was driving on me to start my own construction company.
Okay.
I was successfully running another man's business, making another man millions of dollars. And I was in a situation where I did not feel my future was secure.
Okay.
All right. I had just had my daughter. I had just got married. Mm-hmm. And now I have these responsibilities.
Okay.
And that's a weight for any man. You understand that weight. And so let's talk. I had grown an amazing passion for what I was doing.
Okay.
I loved what I was doing, and I was very good at it. And I would complain to my father. And my father was
father was a gangster.
These
too.
guys know my pops.
Oh, yeah.
My pops, he didn't hold nothing back.
That hat on.
Yeah. He got to a point where he was so tired of me talking about it. He would just tell me, "Don't come over here talking that shit." I done told you. This is what he tell. I done told you what to go do.
Right.
And I used to look at him like, man, don't nobody just go start a business. Don't nobody just get yourself together. That's what I used to tell him all the time. So my father, when the last week of my father's, I'm not trying to be morbid, but I'm just trying to tell you what pushed me and turned my page.
Okay.
The last week of my father's life, my dad told me, I asked him, speaking in general of what am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do? And he looked at me and said, I told you what to do. I told you what I want you to do. Mm-hmm. And I knew right then what I had to do. I knew I had to believe in myself the same way he believed in me. Ooh, and that was the toughest thing.
So
somebody told me a long time ago.
That's crazy.
Believe in the belief I have in you until your belief
Man, when that's tough. That's tough.
When that finally resonated with me and it hit home, I had a conversation with my wife and I said, man, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do. And I that was, when you talk about being inspired, I was inspired by my father's words, my father's belief in me, and him knowing who I was before I even knew who I was, you know? And so, but I was that guy. I was scared to jump.
I think we all are at a point.
Scared to jump. Look at what you're doing.
I think we all are at a point.
You talked about
that's a fact.
Jumping into this.
Yeah.
And look at what you're doing now. And that's a step. That's a leap.
I haven't lost my father. I'm sorry that you have. But I remember when I dropped out of college the first time.
Oh, you dropped out too, huh? Shout out to the college dropout.
Oh man.
I remember when I dropped out the first time, and my father told me he was disappointed in me because he knew what I was capable of. You know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of like, I would say something like, but bro, school is too slow. Like, I just kind of need to be in it. I need to just be doing what it is my greatness defines that I am. And my dad was just like, bro, take your time, smell the roses. Mm-hmm. Kind of how you spoke to about when he went away to school. My dad would say, you don't want to leave them niggas on the block. When you come back, they'll still be there. And you, if that's who you want, you can bring them along and give them their own position.
Facts.
Fast forward all these years. Into my father, at some point, my father wanted me to sign over paternalship of my children because I could have went to school on his GI Bill. And I could have went away because that's what he wanted. But I wanted to go to school as close as I can to the house. But fast forward past all of that, I'm on the phone with my father probably like 8-9 months ago. I even give it a year. And I was telling my father how, you know, everything I do now is for him and my big brother. Like, I'm trying to constantly impress them. everything that I do. Like, I don't go to jail because I don't want that phone call with them.
Yeah.
I don't, not saying I don't mistreat my wife, beat my wife or anything like that, but I don't do the negative things because I don't want that conversation with them. And we was having a conversation and blowy, blowy, blowy. And my dad said, bro, I've been proud of you probably for like the last 16, 17 years. So like,
Wow.
because I believe in everything that you do. And it just broke me. So for you to say, having that fear in you to go and do that, bro, my fear was not disappointing my father. But meanwhile, me chugging along every day was validation enough for him to say, at least you throwing shit at the wall and eventually something is going to stick.
But that goes back to Anthony's point around accountability, right? Accountability
definitely.
is a two-way street, right?
Definitely.
I have to hold my circle accountable, but they also have to hold me
Facts.
accountable,
On my
right?
soul, on my
Meaning,
soul.
like, if I get in here and get slizzard off this 38, like, I would expect saying to be like, bro, you got to go to work tomorrow.
Facts.
Like, what is you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's a fact, and that's why you feel that. Like,
Because I'm going to let you drink that 38 because
Nah.
I will get up under that bottle.
Man, listen, but real talk though, my pop said the exact same thing. Like, I remember I get that letter from U of I, like, I knew I was kicked out because I had already had a conversation with the dean in his office. Like, I could tell y'all stories, man. I ain't even gonna go down there. But I'm sitting in the dean's office and he telling me like whatever. So I knew I was already cooked, right? But my pop said that, like, he was like, man, I'm disappointed. But he made me make him a promise. Like, you gotta promise me. Like, and I like my pops, man, he from the 70s, bro. Like, he from the town. Like, I ain't gonna put his business, but he from the town. Like, anybody who knew who you grew up in the 70s, you knew what black culture was like in the 70s, right?
Definitely.
But my pops, man, in that split moment, man, instantly sobered up, man. And I ain't never had nobody steering my soul like my pops did in that moment. Like, you got to make me a promise you going to finish that degree. And, bro, that's like, so when Sane said, like, man, this dude went and he drove every day. Yeah, I had the motivation, my grandma and all of that. But I had that, like, that commitment. Like, I had made a promise to my pops, like, man, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get this done.
On my soul.
And I think that's what's important for all of us to do, right? Find that commitment, man. You know what I'm saying? Find that commitment to what it is we're supposed to be doing, because I think on a large level, man, I think when we look at what's going on in the society, and I know I said we wasn't gonna go down this path or whatever,
man.
but I'm just gonna put it in drive for a second.
Walk.
You know what I mean?
We won't get
but
too heavy, but walk.
we gonna keep it light. You know what I mean? We're gonna tread and we gonna keep it
I'm with you.
ankle deep right now. But when we think about where we are in society, man, I think the one thing that's missing, man, is who's gonna bear that torch, right? So we think about your MLKs, your Malcolms, you think about your Cornel West, or your Dr. Sebes, or your Nipseys, your Pacs. All them cats, God rest their soul, they've gone on to glory, right? Well, who's next, right? Who's gonna pick that torch up and carry it? And I'm gonna challenge the listeners, and I'm gonna challenge us in this room and say, man, for those of us who have passion and purpose and can see beyond the smoke and mirrors, all the things we talking about, it's your responsibility. It's my responsibility to carry that torch.
Amos? I think this is right now. What we're doing is carrying the torch.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
We
definitely dropping
passing
jewels.
that on. Yeah,
I agree.
I mean,
I
well,
agree.
my situation wasn't like y'all's. I mean, it was completely different. Like, I had a really good job, and I was I still loved to cook and stuff like that, and I was bodybuilding, doing competitions and stuff like that, and making my own meals and stuff. And I was like, man, you know what? I would really like to, have a meal prep company, but I didn't know the first thing about meal prepping at all.
Right.
But there was this meal prep company here. Do I say their name?
It's okay.
Fuck it. Fit Foundation.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of them
It
either.
was I think she still does meal prepping and stuff like
Well,
that.
shout out to her for Fit Foundation.
Yeah,
Whoever
shout
she
out
is.
for Fit Foundation. You gave me my spark.
I didn't know where we was going with that.
But I got eerily quiet.
If you notice, I was looking for cues. Is it war?
I knew both of y'all knew who you was talking about because you had the look on your face. But you like, I ain't gonna say
I
that.
just didn't know where we was going. Okay, shout out. Shout out.
That's why I said I never heard of her, but then he was like, she's still on. Hey, shout out to you, whoever you are.
But see, look where I'm going. So I was like, you know what? They always say you need a mentor when you're doing something. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drive over here and I'm gonna ask them, can I work for them for free? And I proceeded to go inside. They were in 5-star. I don't know. It was a name. They were inside of some supplement store. And I went inside and I remember asking her, like, I went to culinary school. You know, I worked for ComEd. I got a really good job. I don't want you to pay me. I don't want no money. I just want you to teach me the ropes, you know? And she looked me in my eyes and told me no. And I was like,
you know why,
scary.
though?
Let me finish. So I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So I got in my car, left heartbroken. Like, man, damn, that didn't go the way that I thought it was going to
be better. I thought it was going to go a little smoother.
So I'm driving in my car back to the crib, and I said, fuck that. I'm going to the grocery store. I reached in my pocket. I had $100. I said, fuck it. I'm going to start with $100. And that mine didn't come from my parents telling me, you know, because they wanted me to keep my job. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a really good job. My mom worked for Illinois Bell for years. My father's been in the school system for years.
Mr. Wardy.
Shout
out to all the boys club hoopers out there in the world.
you all know Mr. Sane.
You know, so I guess
Troy Elementary Middle School, Mr. Sane.
My inspiration came from, I don't even know what word to use. I was just mad as fuck. Like, I can't believe she just told me no. So I was like, I'm going to go and I'm just going, I know I can cook my ass off. I know how to portion out food. I'm just going to start there. So
I got to throw this at you.
Hit him.
Self-motivated you. Because at that time, you were inspired to cook, but that no gave you
that was a spark.
Yeah, it's a spark. It's like, and sometimes, and listen, let me say this real quick for anybody. There's nothing wrong with being told no. I've been told no so many times. And actually, if I was told yes in some of them situations, I would never be where I am.
Come on.
Because that yes would have led me somewhere reckless or somewhere just average. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not average.
The other thing I'm going to say, though, too, man, is that I think too many times we be looking for a mentor. When what we really need to be looking for is a sponsor. It's a big difference between a mentor and a sponsor, right? A sponsor is somebody who has the resources and has the ability and is in those rooms where the decisions are being made at, and they can say, you know what, bro, give Anthony a shot, period, point blank. And there's no questions asked. A mentor just going to be like, oh, well, you should do X, you should do Y, you should I'm going to help steer you. But that sponsorship, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, when we talked about on the front end about being in the trenches and who we are and what we do and what have you, for me, that's the end goal, the end destination. The end destination for me personally is to be in a place of or a position where I can be a sponsor. Like I can say, hey, I can have the resources and the influence with the people who make decisions to, bro, Sane need a shot. Like,
to
give
be
him
a part
shot.
of that infrastructure,
bro. Indeed, and I think that's what I'm.
That changes lives,
bro.
It does.
That changes lives.
Like when we see what's going on, and people asking about why is this and why is that. We all saw the interview on Breakfast Club the other day with Dr. Umar and all of that. We ain't gonna go there, right? But some of the stuff he was saying was factual. But what for me the takeaway was that we need to put ourselves in a position to be in sponsorship positions
where we can change lives.
Like, if you ain't in a position to change lives,
and
like,
too, without poking the bear, some of us are, man, but it's that complacency that we talked about in them 6-figure jobs that you don't want to lose.
Facts.
You afraid to run away from that because it's a lot of dudes like, man, I'm gonna shoot this shot because I ain't no Brian fan anyway, but I rock with Brian. After the Derek Chauvin verdict came through and he was guilty, Brian put up the picture of the cop who shot Malia Bryant.
and you know what I'm saying, had the caption "You're next," and then the association of people behind the association got down on him. Hey man, you can't, and he took it down, bro. That's the coon shit. And I'm not saying you a coon, LeBron, because I'm minus when you play the Bulls, bro. I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of coon shit that Umar Johnson was talking about. Like, bro, we gotta stand on what we say, and we gotta stand on what we believe. And that's why I said this room right now is us picking up the torch.
Yeah.
When I had the ladies
Agreed.
in here who've been running their own businesses, when I had the Bearfield girl in here, and I had Keon Creel here, that's us picking it up where our parents didn't, because not a lot of our parents not a lot of our parents owned anything.
Yeah.
Maybe the house. But when it came to entrepreneurship, they didn't. So we are picking up the torch, our generation, and then we might not be passing it along so much because we're still young in our own fucking right. I'm going to take this torch and run for another fucking 40 years before I set it down or give it to my kids.
I always wondered why other cultures raise or taught their kids to start their own businesses versus work for somebody else. Like, I was growing up, I was never told that I should open up my own business or anything like that.
Because our parents were comfortable, man, in their jobs, and they were just happy to get the little piece that they were getting. A lot of our parents, like your parents, are college taught.
Yeah.
My parents aren't. I don't know about y'all parents, but nobody was telling me to go to college. College didn't become apparent, man, till like the end of my junior year, going into my senior year.
Yeah, but even
Nobody
with him talking about entrepreneurship, and this is a whole nother conversation, but you know, not to dig too deep, but when we start talking about our parents and our grandparents, we not too far removed from racism, or from slavery. We not too far removed from that.
Absolutely
and
not.
so for when you go back to when we was kids and what our parents wanted for us, that was being able to go to college, being able to send your children to college, to give them a piece of that dream that we're all fed. This story of how you know, the blueprint of how you're supposed to live your life or who you're supposed to be. That's not even just a black thing. That's, you know, colleges, and I'm touchy on this subject. I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers, but I'll just say this. This was my turning point. Before I started my business, I worked at a company. Obviously, I ran the construction division.
Okay.
All right. In this business, it was the construction side and it was the engineering side.
Okay.
And I came to work one day and we had a meeting, and they had us all come into the conference room, and they hired a HR consultant.
Okay.
And she said, we're going to meet in this room once a week for an hour and a half for the next 6 weeks. And we're gonna go through some things, and we're gonna make some changes, and this is all leaders that worked at this company. And the first thing she did was she handed out the employee handbook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
She handed out the employee handbook, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go through the employee handbook, start touching on different things. One by one, we had to throw the handbook away.
Okay.
Right? She made us throw the handbook away, and then we all got tablets, notepads, and we started writing the new blueprint and a new handbook for the company.
Right.
And so third weekend, it hit me. Nothing in this employee handbook is to benefit the employee.
Right.
We are rewriting the rules to completely benefit the company, right? And it's being worded in a way to manipulate the employee. And it did, for me, it was an aha moment. It was this is life. In life, we are given this handbook.
Right.
We're told if you play these cards this way, you're gonna be successful. Your most successful outcomes gonna come from this.
Okay.
Go to college, get a good job, all these different things. I came home, I told my wife, we need to throw away the handbook and rewrite the handbook. She looked at me like I was, what the hell are you talking about? But I said, we need to write our own rules. Why are we playing for rules that, again, another subject, we trying to play by these rules
That wasn't applied
that
to us.
were not even made for us. So we playing a
wasn't
game.
applied to us.
We playing a game that we can't even win.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what I've been saying quite a bit lately, and I was saying this earlier. I said, man, too many times, and this applies to everything in life. Our focus becomes, you know, I just want to get into the room where the decisions are made,
Yeah.
right? When the real goal needs to be, full-fledged ownership.
Right.
Yeah.
Why aren't we saying I want to have my own house so I can have my own kitchen and y'all can come join me like we here at the podcast? And,
Right.
you know what I mean? As opposed to our whole driver being, I want to get in that room, I want to be where whatever, because that's that illusion of
Right.
like success, right? We equate, especially in America, man, and I'm gonna just say this, man. I think we equate success with material possessions,
Absolutely.
and,
Talk,
and,
man.
and status around. Okay, I'm at this level, or I'm at that level, or I run this,
Facts.
or I run this many people, or I manage this amount of money for this particular project X, Y, and Z. When in our reality, man, that doesn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like the real is like, you know, what's your internal
What's your internal idea of
yeah,
success?
like who are you on the internal?
Not just
right?
success, happiness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So listen.
But see, I measure my success. Excuse me. I measure my success based off of my gift and my destiny as far as what God has me to do. As far as assignment wise,
Right.
where am I at when it comes to the mission and my
Yep.
assignment?
Yeah.
How much have I completed of this assignment? You know what I'm saying? That's how I measure what my success is, because you'll always find somebody that makes less money than you. You always find somebody that's
Or make more money.
Or make more.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Facts.
Yeah, no, just kind of speaking to the happiness portion of it. So I remember when I first started setting the camera up, and then when I got this to halfway, 60% of what it was, like the numbers just didn't dictate what I thought they should be. Meanwhile, I was letting people on the outside say, well, man, you should be doing this, or maybe you should try this. And maybe at the end of the day, bro, I would leave these sessions with like the biggest smile on my face. And when I hit the top of them stairs and y'all two used the bathroom, my wife was standing there, bro, with a kiss for me, wrapping her arms around me, telling me she was proud of me, bro. And that's when I knew that I had done and completed what I said. Now, the rest of this is all just in the air now. Whatever comes after that, because I said, this is what I want. This is what I want to do with my time. And my wife validated it for me, said, baby, that's exactly what you said, how you said,
You already
when
won.
you said, and I won,
You
bro.
won.
And that let me know that I had reached the precipice of that. Now, everything that comes after that, the syndication, you know what I'm saying, the sponsorship and everything, blah, 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 that's just extra. You know what I'm saying? That's money in the bank. But this is what I want to do. And then the grocery store, you know what I'm saying, the construction company that's going to build it, the architect who's going to
Man,
give him the
listen.
blueprint for it.
Listen.
All of that is just the extra.
I see you planting them seeds.
Oh man, bro! Listen, when you said construction, I said pint. I'm talking to my wife like, baby, you won't believe who was just sitting at the table, because I was like, man, I'm gonna reach out to somebody in the city, a black-owned construction company. I got a black-owned construction company right here in Joliet, and whatever you can circumvent, however we can get it done, we're gonna
Absolutely.
get it done. Whenever. Because I was trying to figure out the numbers of how much it's going to cost me to do this. And I can just pick up the phone and say, hey, Amos, that blueprint. Oh, yeah, bro, that's going to cost you blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just pour cement and put walls up. That's going to cost you. And now I can go to the bank and say, this is what it's going to cost me.
You know what's amazing?
It's insane.
What's amazing is sometimes we have to stop looking at the crowd and the big group, because the one thing that I've learned, especially with this situation right here, is small groups that are committed to intense transformation.
Man, that's what Ant said.
I used to be like, man, you know what? What do I got to do to get 50,000 more people to follow me? Or what do I got to do to create a program where 100,000 people are buying subscriptions from me? And then lo and behold, I was in the kitchen one time getting James food ready, breakfast ready.
Here you go with these first names.
James Conner, ladies and gentlemen. James Conner.
Have that button.
James Conner.
Got the clue about
Connor.
He definitely name dropping, man. I was in the kitchen with James. Nigga, who you, James? From Good
Hey,
Times?
hold on. Let me pause for a second. Listen, James is a cool ass cat, man. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
man. Let's just keep it at that.
Straight shout out to James Conner. Look, he is one of the
hands down.
Look, when I say solid,
Hands down.
A1,
Hands
Yeah.
down.
man, bro, like I
can testify to
I
that.
thank God for him so much, man,
Hands
because like I said, I was in the kitchen cooking before he was getting ready to go play, and he just looked over and said, "Man, you know you the greatest."
Yes, sir.
Talk
like-
that talk.
I'm like, what?
Man, y'all about to wake me up in here now.
You
Bro,
already.
and
Now,
now
you
I'm
been
I'm
cooking,
about,
boy.
I'm
You
about to
tripping.
start.
You
I'm
been
about to start beasting.
And I mean, and so I mean, and I looked at him. I said, "What?" He said, "Bro," he said, "Look, just because you ain't got the followers that you want, they watching you." He said, "Trust me, they watching you, bro." And I was just like, man, it just takes just small things from great people to say that to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've never worked with a client that stopped out of the blue to tell me how great I was. And I was just, it fucked me up. I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
It always does in the most humbling manner possible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something though, man. Energy don't lie, but numbers do.
Ooh.
I'm gonna rephrase that. I'm gonna say that again. Energy doesn't lie, but numbers do. Right? We think like, oh, if I got 100,000 followers on the gram, blah blah blah, I'm popping. Bro, that shit don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, let's pause and talk about Jay. Like Jay-Z ain't got no fucking IG, or if he do, it's a ghost IG.
Right.
But he's still majorly relevant. You know what I mean? Like Cole ain't on IG, whatever, but he majorly relevant. I guarantee you, if Cole dropped right now, all of us would be on our phone, like
Facts.
on the ride home, bro. I'm about to listen to this Cole get in tune, right?
soul.
So it goes back to the smoke and mirrors comment around. Like sometimes we get it confused in regards to what's really important and what's not important, man. And what I want to say is that you have to be able to decipher between when numbers matter and when numbers don't matter, because they do from time to time.
It come with growth,
Look,
though.
not to throw off this
Throw it
energy,
off,
but we
bro.
speaking about numbers. I don't know what the Bears just had to do to get into the top 20.
Did
But
they?
they just picked Justin Fields. Shout out to the Chicago Bears.
They'll blow it.
for going to get a black quarterback, man.
Listen.
They will blow
Hey,
it.
listen, I don't want to
Look.
throw off.
I am diehard Bears fan.
Man, wait till y'all see this tattoo on my leg.
Don't do it.
Man. What?
Don't
Man,
do it.
Listen, I don't know what they had to do. I know it's gonna piss me off. I
hope it's gonna be on your
piss me off.
calf or something.
It is. No. My tattoo. I have it already. Wait a minute. What is that? I literally have a Chicago Bear leg
I didn't
sleeve.
know.
Yeah, no, I literally have
I
a
didn't
Chicago
know.
Bear leg sleeve, but I don't know what they had to do to get Justin Fields, but I know it's gonna hurt me when I actually sit down and look at the particulars.
They
But
didn't gave away they done gave away every seat in the stadium.
they definitely did something crazy,
What,
man.
hey, what else we supposed to be talking about today, man, on this podcast?
Well, I don't know, man, because you kind of gave me a heads up in the beginning, so I don't really know what to touch. So I'll let y'all open that, man. But just I mean, greatness in general, man.
I want to talk about greatness.
to hear and by all means, and I don't want to disrespect your guy, but just because somebody is in the National Football League or the NBA or singing on the stage or RCA, whatever the case may be, that doesn't give them greatness. But
Facts.
that says that their work ethic has
Got them
got
there.
them
Yeah.
to
Facts.
a level that a
Facts.
million, 10 million, 20 million people couldn't get to. So for that individual who worked hard, worked his ass off to get to where he was, to tell you that you were great, bro, for your father, hold on, before you go, before your father got out the way, he told you, son, I want you to go start that bit. They seen it in you.
Facts.
And that's what we have to start looking at, because it's people around us who see it in us. I can't remember which one of y'all said it when you did. When you said the belief of someone's belief in you is greater. We have to start to see that, man.
We about to go in then,
as a
so
culture,
we can
bro,
level
as a
up.
Culture,
That's our
as a
responsibility,
culture,
though.
we don't see the greatness, bro.
You-
And I'm a huge advocate. You go up the stairs, it's a bedroom right across from the bathroom. There's probably about 200 pairs of shoes in there. I kick myself daily because I can't shake the habit. But at the same time, I'm handling shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm handling shit. I'm not being held back by my vice. But that said, I'm not tethered to a belt. I'm not tethered to a pair of mics. I'm not tethered to, Louis, Gucci, Fendi, whatever the case may be, blah, 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 blah. Because at the same time, hey, I got some of them Walmart joints to kick around in too because they comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But when will we start to see, bro, our greatness? Because
You have
everybody
to-
else
you-
sees
That's
it.
a good
You
question.
have to on your journey, you gotta really keep your eye. I mean, let me start off. You really gotta keep your ear to the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep your ear open to what God and the universe is saying to you, because sometimes, like I said, I just started my business. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I tell a lot of people. They be like, well, how did you get to where you at? Just start.
I just started.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't give, you got to give God something to fill up. You know what I'm saying? My mom was praying over me the other day, and she was saying, let God's bucket fill up, and everything else that overflows goes to everybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember I had experience when I was meditating. And as I was meditating, God was like, I gave you what you needed, because this journey has not been all roses for me. I remember being in L.A., Aaron Donald gave me a vehicle to drive. I'm driving a $180,000 vehicle with no place to stay, and I'm staying at the Super 8. And I'm in my hotel room, crackheads. Prostitutes, drug, and every type of person was there. And I'm in my hotel room crying, asking God, like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, things worked out for me, and things fell into place. But get back to when I was meditating, I just heard God kept saying, like, I gave you what you needed. I gave you what you needed. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You gave me what I needed. He said, I gave you what you needed. I said, what? He said, every day that you wake up and that young man, James Conner, comes downstairs for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you get to see perseverance in the flesh. And I was like, whoa, because there's been plenty of times where I was ready to give up.
Because he was on.
Getting blessed with that opportunity gave me a chance to be with somebody every day that, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of kids that's out and running the streets, and you got good people telling them, hey, don't sell drugs.
Right.
Don't do this. Don't gang bang. But it's somebody that's squeaky clean.
Right.
Like, why the fuck am I going to listen to you, and you've never even
Never
been in
been
a
to
confrontation in
dirty.
your life?
Yeah.
Like,
So
you
for,
can't bring me through something
Yeah.
because you ain't never been to something.
absolutely.
Right,
Show me what you overcame, not what you just talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just think that, like I was saying, you always got to just pay attention to why people are in your life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking everybody for granted.
Man, I catch flack for that, bro. I tell people all the time that I don't pray. I have a relationship with God, but I don't pray. I don't pray for anything because I feel like he's already given me everything that I need to succeed. It's for me to bring that out. The argument that I have with one of my closest friends all the time is that everyone doesn't have greatness. But I think everyone does have a level of greatness. It's just that perseverance that James Conner had to go through to reach his greatness. And him having that greatness in him, he was running a construction company for somebody else. Yeah. It was there, but that fear, his father had to snatch that fear out of him. And then he said, you know what? Let me go get to mine because I know what's for me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to seem like I'm on the pulpit here, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't ask God for anything because I have it all already. You know, I walked away from my wife for an entire year. We weren't married yet. We were in a relationship. And for a year, I just saw a bunch of what my wife wasn't as I was running around out in the streets. Everything I encountered, well, my wife wouldn't have did that. My wife wouldn't have wore that out. You know what I'm saying, on the date.
You sound like what's that movie with Chris Rock? I think I love. Yeah, I think I love my wife or whatever.
But no, I saw a bunch of what Pint wasn't.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then I realized what I wanted was what she was. And even the little things that we go through now, you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't pray for any of it. I didn't say, God, give me a wife. I didn't say, God, give me somebody to support me. God, give me a backbone. But he gave me her. And I enjoy it 100%. And we have a connection, bro, that's outside of this world. And I can't make people understand that. But that's what I'm saying. How you spoke to, he gave it to you. And you knew you had it already. And then you just had to reach down in yourself and pull it out. Your pops pulled it out. We all individually pull it out of ourselves. You know, you getting kicked out of school, and now you 30 hours away from your master's. You're pulling that greatness out of yourself.
Right.
And here's the kicker, bro. We all young as fuck. Like, I'm not finna go run no 5 flat 40, but I guarantee you, if you let me stretch, I'm gonna hit at least a 5.5. You know what I'm saying?
Just make sure you stretch.
Oh no, I'm definitely gonna stretch.
So my take on this is, you know, and I don't want to get too deep because this can go real deep with me.
You got to get deep.
This
bro.
can go real deep with me, but we hear something, man. I got to keep it a buck. You know, the start of my journey was my father pulling that out of me.
Okay.
Right. But there's so much more in that in all of our stories. But I truly believe when we talk about this, everybody have greatness. I believe everybody has power.
Okay.
Okay. So, and there's a difference between greatness and power.
Okay.
Right.
Talk your shit.
And we touched on in the beginning, we talked about people being stuck with not knowing who they're supposed to be and who they want to be, and then trying to figure out who they are, right?
Right.
For me, it was getting over my, like everybody else, getting out of my own way, getting over my own fears, because fear is real. It's nothing wrong with being afraid of things, but there are things you need to overcome, right?
For sure.
And I started educating myself.
Okay.
And I started reading, and we're gonna talk about. I would like us all to throw some books out there too toward the end of this, because I feel like you always need to be educating yourself. You should always be reading. You should always be finding somebody that can sponsor you or mentor you a little bit, whether that's personally and somebody that you have a personal relationship with, or somebody that you're studying and you're looking up and you're studying somebody else's journey. But I had to learn that I had the power to do whatever.
Right.
So I came home one day and my wife was watching TV and I wasn't really paying attention, but I caught something. And I caught somebody was talking, and she said, to truly be successful, to gain that power, you have to realize that nothing that is humanly possible can be alien to me, right? So you have to think about the worst thing ever, like the worst heinous crime ever, like somebody, you know, like a Jeffrey Dahmer, right? And you can't say, I could never do that.
Right.
You could say, I would never do that. I will never do that.
Right.
If you can relate to that on the negative side, then you can look at a Warren Buffett, or you can look at anybody and you can say, I too am human.
Right.
My journey may be different, but I too, nothing that is humanly possible can be alien to me.
Right.
So I had to really start accepting that I can do anything.
Right.
Yeah. I got power. I know my power. So for me, you know, people who are successful and whether they're entrepreneurs or they work for another company, but they're higher up. People
Successful
who
in their
have
own
successful in their own right. You know why they're so demanding? Because they don't accept that things cannot happen.
Right.
That you cannot do something. I don't. My employees know before you call me and tell me you can't do something, you better had explored every single possibility to get that done.
Every option.
Because now my whole purpose now is to prove you wrong. It's to prove that it can be done. So when you hear stories and you start researching people who have overcome different things and become successful, they get to a point where they accept I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting failure.
Right.
I may fall, but I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna figure this out. We gonna get this done somehow.
Right.
And that goes with everything. That goes if you starting a fitness journey, you should be able to close your eyes and imagine what you look like. You should be able to feel how much easier it is to breathe.
Powerful.
So when you talk about I'm gonna change my diet, why? Can you really click? Can you already imagine yourself breathing better? Can you already imagine yourself feeling better?
Right.
You have to really truly be able. Can you people say this, I can smell the money. Can you truly smell the money? A lot of people say they want $1 million. Can you really imagine having $1 million?
Right.
Can you imagine paying the taxes on $1 million? There's a lot that come with it. So I had to fully I took it all in.
On my soul.
So I took it all in. So there's a thing with and as far as our culture, right? We have to deprogram. We have to deprogram. And I'm talking to the younger generation most of all, because what happens is we were all a victim of it from how we wanted to dress and what we looking for validation.
Definitely.
We looking for validation to so we can place ourselves as far as status. So why? So we can demand respect.
Talk.
Right? Because our respect is based upon, in our culture,
Man,
our respect is
he
based
said we
upon
was finna
what
wake
we
him up.
have. Our respect
Definitely.
is going to be based upon what we have. So if I got this, they got to respect me a little bit more.
Right.
You know, so if I put myself here, I'm on.
Right.
I'm popping.
Right.
I'm gonna say this real quick because I was listening to one of my pep talks, and I think it was Dr. Miles Monroe. I had wrote it down. He said you began because there's something that's finished that you're here that you're supposed to start. So you came to this earth with already a
Say that
purpose.
again.
He said you began because there's something that's finished that you are supposed to start. So you got to figure God put us all here with a purpose.
Right.
For something that and they said God already has your plan worked
Indeed.
out. So that means if God already has my plan worked out, that means it's finished.
Right.
But it's your job to start it.
Oh yeah. I'm slow.
Like you
Like I'm slow.
That's why. Hey, listen, that's why I caught it. That's why I said say that again for the people in the back.
because you never know you never know what the end game for this podcast is. I'm sorry.
Right. No, you
know
all
what I'm
good.
saying?
You all good.
But it's your job to start it. It's finished already.
Right.
But God is like, okay, when you gonna start?
Right.
And like you said, you started this with two counterpartners, but I really believe your counterpartners was only here to get you started because you may have been a little bit too fearful to jump out by yourself.
On my
So
soul.
it's easy to go outside and fight when you got two other cats.
On
with
my
you.
soul. That makes sense. That makes big sense.
I just saw that.
You saw me running out by myself. And then you
Yeah,
saw
when
you
you're by yourself, sometimes you're just looking out the curtains like these niggas still out there.
But when your partners come like, yo, DA, I'm about to pull up too. That's when that rocket.
that cape go.
Yo,
that cape jump
you
on
know
your
what I'm
back
saying?
out of nowhere.
Until you get out there and you start swinging
Yeah.
and you start knocking niggas out, and you like, whoa, I don't need no help.
Right.
But it takes
to start though.
it takes to start. Like you
takes to
gotta
start. That's what's
start.
up.
Like
Gotta
man.
start to finish.
You got to. What you scared of? That I asked myself. What am I scared of?
What am I
What am I afraid
You
of?
know what?
I'm here now.
But you know the answer to that though.
Yeah, I do now.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the moments.
Yeah.
But you also, life is precious.
It
Like
is.
we here now. Everybody don't get that.
Yeah.
Everybody don't get tomorrow.
I tell people all the
That's a fact.
time, bro. Every day somebody wakes up dead, and then somebody will take that and be like, "Well, how can you wake up? Because you dead inside. You don't have nothing to go on,
That was
you
double
could
edged.
just wake up dead.
That was double
like
edged.
you don't get another day to do it, and we don't know what's beyond today. None of us, because none of us can see tomorrow. So this could be it. But I tell you this: if this is it for me, I'm glad that I was here and not somewhere else on the block with a pack, with a pistol. You know what I'm saying? Doing something that I'm doing what I love. This is my passion. This is my purpose. So to your point, man.
I still keep my pistol on me now.
Oh no, I got that motherfucker. It's always close by. But the point that I'm trying to make is a lot of people, man, that fear of failure, that fear of losing. But it's like, what do you have to lose?
Well, it depends, and that's why I say it's okay to fear, because sometimes you can't. You need some discipline too.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't.
Well, you don't want to just jump off the bridge.
Yeah,
with
I'm not
everything.
telling anybody.
Facts.
Don't go home and tell your
Don't
wife.
quit your job.
Listen,
Hey, don't quit your job.
Listen, hey, babe, Butter was on the podcast with the guys.
You said quit your job.
I ain't going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm finna go start my own construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do
Meanwhile,
that.
this Mark don't know what a 45 degree.
So
angle
that's why I
is.
say.
Exactly.
That's why I say you have to reprogram. You gotta get rid of. You gotta delete and start over.
All the way.
Because you gotta figure out what all this. Especially ask yourself how old you are.
Right.
And that all them years, that much stuff has been poured into you as far as like what you think you're supposed to be and who you think you're supposed to are. But the things when you ask yourself, man, what do you truly want to be? We start off with kids. We ask them.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah,
that's a fact.
that quickly turns into what do you want to do?
Right.
Watch that, because that goes from B, and it's the most imaginary things ever.
Right.
And it turns into occupation, do, and it is very systematic. And so I'm very, very careful with my children.
Yeah.
As far as like making sure that I want to constantly push the be versus the do.
Man, you I want to pause there for 1 second, not to interrupt you. You just said something that was super powerful, and I don't think people caught it. Right? It's a big difference between doing something
Yeah.
and being
It's
something.
huge.
It is. To this point, I apologize for cutting you off, but I was just in the car with my 15-year-old daughter, and she was like, well, Dad, at what point should I start, like, looking into colleges? And I was like, well, let's not jump off the bridge because you're a freshman in high school. Like, you don't run track. You don't play baseball, softball, anything of that nature. I said, but what do you want to do? Because we'll dictate college based off of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because everybody will tell you, all the big schools, Alabama, LSU, blowy, 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 but those won't help you. You could have some school in the middle of Indiana, you know what I'm saying,
Indeed.
that specializes in exactly what you want right now. And that would circumvent that education for you,
Where you can concentrate more.
where you can concentrate
Absolutely.
And you
instead
can
of taking
focus
all
on
of this
being.
other stuff.
Listen,
blowy, blowy,
that's a
blowy.
15-year-old.
Yeah.
Imagine a 25-year-old that's sitting down trying to. I talked to somebody. I talked to a brother of mine who came to me with an idea,
Right.
and he said, "Man, I'm getting ready to go. I'm gonna be on lockdown for the next 2 years. I'm ready to go back to school." And I said, "Oh, for real? For what?" And he told me what he was going to school for, and he was starting his business in cybersecurity. And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna start this when I get done with school." I said, "What's your plan?" He said, "When I get done with school, I'm gonna start this business, and I'm going from there." And so I listened to him, and I listened to his ideas, and then I said, "Why don't you go find somebody else that is already with in debt? They went to school for that, and they somewhere right now driving a forklift.
Right.
Go find that guy. Don't put your life on hold for 2 years." That's why I say college is cool, but determine what route you want to play. If your end game is running a business, then you can figure out other ways around that.
Right.
So I always say, don't use college as a cop-out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, it's just an excuse
Right.
to say, I ain't figured life out yet. I'm in school, though.
Yeah.
I'm in
like
school.
that. I like that. I
I
like
never
that.
understood.
I'm in
that
school.
shit.
I like that. I
You know
like
what I mean?
that.
And my wife has her master's degree.
Right.
But I tell you what, my wife works with me at my company.
Right.
And so
I like how you said with me instead of for me.
oh,
That was
absolutely.
huge.
100%.
That was huge.
Shout out to my baby. But we are a team,
Smack him in the head,
That's right. There are some
He cleaned it up, boy, because I was shh,
There
don't
are-
say that. You gotta go home.
There are some things I still fear, you know what I'm saying? but it's real. You can really do what you want to do.
Oh,
You
my
can
soul.
be who you want to be.
Yes.
And you can stop being who they want you to be. And you can stop doing what they want you to do. That's
I
my
heard
piece.
that. I definitely heard that, man. And that's powerful within itself. Because the fact that fear is there. That fear is there. I almost like what you said a minute ago, too, more than I like that. Like, don't use college as a cop-out.
Don't use college as a cop out.
That's going to scratch the surface of some people.
Don't come
But-
bringing me that, because
but
I'm going to say for what?
But the disclaimer that he hit y'all with in the beginning is, hey, if you're going to do college, my hat's off to you. But don't lean on college as that crutch to say, oh, well, because I'm doing this, that I can't do this.
I mean, I think in this day and age, though, when we really and I'll dive down that path just a little bit. When we really think about college, and I'm college educated, whatever.
Man, don't throw the whatever in there now.
Yeah.
You 30 hours away from a master's, man.
It's
Give
whatever,
yourself that
bro.
credit.
He's the master.
He's the Shifu.
I think if you attempting to go to school because you don't know what you want to do, that's not where it's at anymore.
Right.
Right. When we think about a global economy, we think about where we are just across the globe. That's just not where it is anymore. Years ago, 60s, 70s, 80s, even early 90s, you went to college, you was guaranteed middle class wage at that point. Boom, I got a bachelor's degree, I'm good to go. I can be set, I'm gonna raise my family. That's not where it's at anymore.
Right.
However, there are some professions in this world that still require a
Oh, yeah.
college
Requires
degree.
it.
Doctors, lawyers,
Right,
absolutely.
veterinarians.
Yeah, so if that's the path, then by all means
Do that.
Do that.
100%.
However, I think where we're failing at and what we need to fix, right, and us in this room and those listening to this podcast is that this this idea of entrepreneurship. Like we really got to revisit the idea of entrepreneurship, and that's what has made, I'm gonna say, this world great. I'm not gonna say only America. Yeah, we can say America, right? Because we landed the free home of the brave, whatever you want to say.
That way.
But it was built on entrepreneurship. If we really boil it all the way down, like we ain't got to go down slavery, but it was built on entrepreneurship. Capitalism, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to revisit that, and that's why I was thinking about this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm sure my girls, they gonna watch this because they gonna be like, Dad, what you was doing? Let me see this podcast, whatever. My daughter Jasmine, she's 17, and she at that age where she about to get a job. She ain't got no job yet. But I was thinking the other day, I was driving to work. I'm like, I don't even want my daughter to get a job. I want to pay her just all summer to whatever it is you want to do. I'm gonna pay you. Like, find a wage that's appropriate. Figure out a way to pay her to just chase whatever it is that's her passion. Because when we get back to passion and purpose and going beyond the smoke and mirrors, it's our responsibility as parents. We're talking about accountability and whatever. Definitely. It's our responsibilities. How do we cultivate that? How do we mold that? And I think, to your point,
and support
Anthony,
it.
And support it, to your point, if we don't take those calculated and targeted and aggressive measures, then we raise another generation that's going to fall right
in that
victim
trap
to the circumstances.
Like
so I'm
that.
like, man, you know what? Let me just pay her to whatever it is she want to do. If you want to be an artist, let me support your artistry. If you want to do this, let me support that. If you want to do that, let me support that. So I would challenge us to revisit that thought around entrepreneurship.
Well, yeah, no, and that's the end goal in this. My oldest is 17, and he steadfast. I got 2 nieces in college. I got a niece and nephew in college. One is like junior year, sophomore year, and then my nephew was a freshman, starting quarterback. Shout out to Benedictine. But my son, like, yeah, Dad, I don't know. Then my niece and my daughter, after my son, they're next. You know what I'm saying? And my oldest niece, she's going to school to be a doctor. Played ball, had a chance to go to Duke. And she was like, I don't want to do that. I want to be a doctor. So my brother was like, hey, where do you want to go? She said Baylor. That's fine. They spent a lot of years in Texas. So she's in Baylor. My niece and my daughter are like, well, we want to be doctors too, just like Deja. My son, like, man, I ain't going to college. I said, well, let's figure it out then. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a million things you can do up until you're 25 before I cut you off. Because that's where I cut you off.
Wait, is it 26 when the insurance cut off, or 25?
Man, I'm cutting my kids off at 25. Because at 25, the idea, I've put enough ideas there. I'm cutting you off financially. I might just put you out and change the locks, depending on how big my house is.
All of those, everything that you just went through, as far as around the table with all of them, none of them were wrong answers.
Yeah.
I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
This is the route for you.
Yeah.
This is the route.
Listen, we're going to support it, to Amos's point.
If you are, and I'm not saying college cannot be the next step after high school, right? Everybody ain't got it figured out. Everybody, and I know a lot of people haven't. I'll say this to back that up. I believe you cannot afford, in this day and age, with what we have in technology.
Come on.
Where we are, it's 2021.
Right.
All right. So there are no excuses, right? If you roll around with excuses, you got to keep that to yourself, man. That's a self problem. I can't deal with that.
Me,
so, it's okay to party and have fun, right? But you gonna do that now and pay for it later.
You gonna pay for
and that's just a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you cannot have more celebrations then you have wins.
So
if you out here if you celebrating every week, I see. I'm that ghost. I'm that ghost on the gram. That I peep everything.
Yeah.
You know how people be like, man, I know y'all see me. I ain't liking my status. Y'all ain't. I see a lot of people with a whole lot of celebrations,
celebrating
and
failure.
not a lot of wins. And I'm just saying, you really got to buckle down, because right now I know a lot of young brothers that's getting it that I wish I was so in tune mentally at that age. That you know what I mean. So I'm talking about 25. They own 2-3 properties already.
Yes, sir.
So they deep in crypto, right? These are things that wasn't around when we was at that age.
Right.
So they deep in crypto. You know, I laugh because everybody kind of was laughing at everybody that got into the stock market over the GameStop phase. So I've been, I trade stocks, and I've been getting into stocks for the last couple years. And so, I'm like, man, how was that a bad thing? I think, we're seeing right in front of our eyes, we're seeing Wall Street change.
Yeah.
We're seeing the
Facts.
color of money change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you either you gonna be on the outside looking in, you either spending money or you making money.
You either spinning it or you making
That's it. And you got, I know what side of the table I want to be on.
it. Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking,
I want to ask one question, not to cut you
no,
off.
you all good, boss.
Two things. One,
He said, I want to ask one question, two things.
I know it's a multi.
That sound like a pastor.
Accountability, man. Grab that 17, man.
No. One, and it ain't even more of a question. It's more of a statement than anything. What does it mean to be in tune? And two, is crypto / stocks the new dope game of the 90s, right?
Ooh.
You
Facts.
playing. That's a whole nother podcast.
Oh, we can dive. We can touch on it though.
You take that one though.
Okay, so
it's crypto,
No.
like real talk. It's stocks and crypto, and you talk about the color of money. That's like
So-
bro in here dropping
wanna-
some jewels.
I
in
don't
this
want to
piece.
keep throwing people under the bus, so I won't say names or nothing like that. And I understand, bro, y'all busy in y'all own right, so y'all definitely don't get a chance to check this out. But a couple weeks ago, me and my brother, we did a podcast on XRP Ripple. At the time, I think Ripple was at like 14, 15 cents. It's up to like $1.40 now. But I sat in this room and my brother sat there, and we were literally giving money away so people can buy the stock. Because we were watching it rise. I'm talking about we bought in at like, it wasn't even, I don't even know what the math of half of a penny is, but we bought in at that stage because somebody gave us the little tip. And we was like, all right, yeah, it's going to do what it's going to do. So we took a boatload of money and shoved it into it.
I just want to say I'm heavy in that.
Heavy. I'm talking about heavy like
Shout out to
like
XRP.
150,000 shares heavy in that.
I'm heavy in that.
You know what I'm saying? But we literally, I swear, bro, I will show y'all my Cash App. We were giving people $100 to buy into this stock.
That's
All you
what's
had to
up.
do was share the live, go to my YouTube page, follow me, and then type financial freedom or something in the live broadcast. And people were tagging people because at first they thought it was a joke until I like on the live was like, hey, drop your Cash App right now. Boom, 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 boom. Do it. Boom. And I think we ended up, bro, it was, I swear to God, if I'm not lying,
That's
it
what's
was
up.
less than $2,000 because people didn't want to just open their eyes to see. And bro, I'm talking about, I was so heartbroken because I'm like, I'm literally giving away. And probably like $800-900 of it was just like people who didn't believe and they wanted to get some weed or get their hair done or get their nails done. And I'm highly disappointed. Because to like the 12 or 13 people who did do it, at that point, I think they made at this point like $400, which, you know what I'm saying, it's light on the side of not knowing what's going on, but leave it there. Because that was money somebody gave to you. Don't worry about the up and down. Just leave it there. And one day on accident, it'll pop up again on social media, and you'll look, and you'll be sitting somewhere close to 200,000-300,000 on accident.
So we're gonna pause right here because a lot of y'all might not know what he's talking about. And since we dropping jewels, and I believe in making people do their own due diligence, but we just gonna say the man just said that he's giving you a case in point where he done put some money into something. He done tried to spread the word, and he's even offered and had an opportunity
Without question.
to put the money up for you. I'll just say I've had in all my group chats,
Yeah.
I've thrown Ripple at everybody, right? As well as Ethereum. I was heavy in crypto early last year.
Right.
And I got in Ethereum when it was under $200.
Right.
And and I was just learning and studying it. But as I started understanding it and started spreading it around, people didn't understand it. And I understand being cautious of where you put your own money. Now, if somebody would tell me they was giving me money,
Literally.
I would have been whatever, follow the script,
Literally.
blah, blah, blah.
I would have made about 4-5.
Yeah, let me
Bro,
get that.
No, y'all don't understand, bro. We were literally giving it away.
Yeah, but it's maybe somebody thought it was a gimmick. I would tell everybody, you need to do your due diligence and get yourself into crypto while it's still early.
Because like Amos just said, that's the new dope.
That is, and
That's
stocks,
the new
and
dope
stocks,
game.
and stocks. It is, and
Indeed.
if you not listen,
Indeed.
it's just reminded me of somebody I know. She owns a cannabis company, and the name she has a
Hemp?
Her
Hemp. I'm telling y'all
her
now,
trend.
hemp.
Her trend is her tag is legit trapping. And it's real catchy, but that's
like that.
to me, that's what the stock market is, and crypto as a whole. And understand this, man. We talking about global money,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so you really got to go do your due diligence, look into some stuff, man,
Yeah,
and get on that train
Money
because
that
yeah,
travels around the globe. man.
absolutely. That
And comes
that not
back.
only will set you up, that's gonna set up generations after you. As far as how early it is right now, that is a whole nother podcast because and I wouldn't mind if you do have one on.
Man,
I wouldn't mind.
welcome.
I've done a lot of due diligence and I'm in some different groups and I talk to a lot of people daily.
You definitely
and I definitely am heavy in that space.
But just speaking to like Amos said, and your friends, her legal trap, bro. Like it's easy. All you have to do is pick up a book and read. Learn. I tell people this. Okay, so and this is with anything in life. If one of y'all were to say a word that I didn't know, I mentally locked it in. And as soon as y'all leave,
Yeah,
I'm
I'ma
going to
Google
Google it.
Yeah.
Right
You
here.
know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. And that's what we was talking about. Boom, and I'll make it make sense. You can do the same thing with stocks, in trading, in day trading. Anything that you don't know, Bear versus Bull don't come on that much no more. It's like every now and again, Blue Moon it'll come on. But when they start talking that talk that you don't understand, Google it. It's simple. And figure out what you're doing. And then just learn how to look at trends. Bro, I missed the Netflix bus. I was down at my brother's house in Arkansas in 2011, and we were watching. I keep telling this story. We were watching the Girl on Fire movies, the Mockingjay. And this is when Netflix was sending the DVDs out to your house.
Yeah.
So my one homeboy, before I dropped out of college, he was telling me, not before I dropped out of college, but I knew him in college. We still have a friendship to this day. He was like, yeah, bro, so everything is getting ready to go digital. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is digital? He's like, yeah, you're going to have to start streaming everything. Disney is in the process of buying everything.
Yeah.
And what they're going to do is Samsung, LG, it's this new company coming out called Vizio. They're going to make these smart TVs. And everything is just going to come digitally to your TV. You won't have to have DVDs. And I'm like, bro, you tripping. The music game going crazy. CDs is the rave. They're never going to get PlayStation, Sony. They're never going to. He like, bro, all of that shit's finna go by the wayside. And I'm like, dude, you stupid. Shut up. At the time, I kid y'all not, Netflix was trading at like $4.32. You could have got in on the bottom floor.
Yes,
this
sir.
cat right now is driving a wrapped S model Tesla. Paid for it. Right off the lot. 33 years old, balling, out of control. The same thing when Disney bought Marvel, he was telling me, bruh, you need, well, nobody saying bruh then. But I'm just like, nah, that's okay. Video games and movies, I don't care about that. He like, Disney is coming out with this thing called CG, where they're going to change the movie game and how special effects look. Again, man, get out of here. Look at Spider-Man. Look at Iron Man. Look at the Avengers. Bro, I'm talking about money hand over fist, and now we laugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? He'll be like, I told you. You know what I'm saying?
But the dopest thing about this, how long ago? You said 2011.
Yeah.
The dopest thing about this, there are opportunities like that
Right
every
now.
single
Right
day.
now.
You got to tap in.
Right
You got to
now.
tap in, man. And
I
there,
don't, Safe Moon. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to buy Safe Moon. You got to buy some shit and buy some other shit and sell it and then transfer it over. I can't tell you how to do it because
there's a million YouTube videos on how to buy Safe Moon.
Buy Safe Moon now. Bro, it's the latest cryptocurrency that's coming out. It's supposed to be the Dogecoin killer. That's what they calling it, but it's not even nowhere close to a penny, man. Buy a bunch of it. Buy a bunch of it. And I can't speak to it probably like Anthony can, but I just keep my ear to the streets. And I stay in tune with what these young entrepreneurs are doing.
I am not
But
educated.
but I-
when it
but I
comes
mean,
to
I
any
think-
of this stuff.
We got to get in. We got to get you right off air.
Gotta get you
Off
right
air.
off
This, when we come back, this brother gonna be right.
Man.
But I'm gonna bring it all the way full circle in regards to when we really get back to purpose and passion. We talked about fears and conquering fears. We all have our own lanes, respectively, right?
Definitely.
Facts.
And one of the things in regards to fear is that sometimes I might fear, like, is Anthony really telling me something that's gonna benefit me, or is he not? right?
Yeah.
And when you conquer that, and when you know that you got your circle that's holding you accountable, all the things we talked about tonight, it's easy for me to be like, yeah, he told me it's legit. Like, I'm a rock with him.
But
And even if it don't do what he said it's gonna be, like, I ain't gonna even feel no certain type of way, because
You got to understand his intentions.
exactly.
And that's exactly
And you
what I
got to
was
do.
getting ready to point
Here's the
my
thing.
finger
Don't
at.
worry about when. Listen. Take
Do
everything with
the
everything
research.
with a grain of salt.
Do the
Take
research.
if somebody tell you go invest some money in something, and you throw that money in there and you don't do your own due diligence, don't be mad at that man, right? You have a responsibility,
You definitely do.
right, to do your research, to read and educate yourself on anything, and that's very important, man. Don't be. A lot of times, man, I don't want to go this way, but a lot of times we want other people to do all the work for us.
You said it
You know what
earlier.
I'm saying?
You said it earlier.
We want people to do the
You said
work
it
for us,
earlier.
man, and that ain't gonna get you nowhere. A lot of times, man, the toughest times in my life, man, if I can go back into them moments, to appreciate them moments,
Right.
That touch, because that's the process.
Right.
You can't get nowhere by skipping the process. A lot of people want everybody want to be on the top floor,
Look, bro.
and sometimes it ain't no damn elevator.
Nipsey said he
What?
took the stairs.
Sometimes,
I like
hey,
that.
bro. Sometimes it ain't no.
damn
Sometimes it ain't no
elevator.
steps, and you got to build the bricks. But it come down to how bad do you really want to get up
Let's
there?
go,
Because
man.
you gotta ask yourself. A lot of us want to be or pray that we reach some type of value within our lives, or we're on the same status of, like, diamonds and
Right.
gold, but you can't pray for something like that.
No,
And-
because
and-
prayer
and-
with no works.
Yeah, but see, on top of that, you got to watch what you pray for, because you can pray for, man, you know what, I want to be valuable like diamonds. I want my business to flourish. I want to be valuable like gold. And then God will be like, all right, then, well, you know what it takes to be a diamond? Or you know what it takes to be?
Pressure.
There you go. And you gotta
Man.
you gotta understand, the one thing I've understand is when I'm about to go back underground. And like, I deal with depression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I've got to the point to where I've learned how to grow in darkness.
Right.
A lot of times people stay stagnant in darkness, and you know what I'm saying? And I think even one of my friends that says you got to learn how to be like a lilac, and a lilac is one of the flowers that can grow in darkness. So, man, you got to know
Man, shout
when
out to my boy Courtney Logan, man, because he's definitely growing in the darkness, man. That boy is going crazy in Atlanta
That's my
right
guy.
now. He actually scaring me, man. It's like, hold on, man. I'm that analogy, man. I want to see you do good. Just slow down, because you're doing a little too good.
Man, keep going.
Keep, bro, and
What
that's
what
what-
Jay say? Keep going,
That's what I
free.
be telling him. That's what I be telling Corey
Keep
every time we on the
going.
phone. I mean, shout out to y'all. See me with the
I
anti-cool
saw it.
joint
As soon
on
as I
right
came
now.
in,
I rock. You
picked
see
the
it?
game.
Where's that? Right here.
there.
Hey, and I
Yeah.
need that
Yeah.
insanely fit meal sticker down there, man.
I
You
got
know what I'm saying?
you,
So
bro.
people can definitely get an eye on that. Oh no, here it go right here. Nope, it's the other side. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. But man, I remember we talked about him starting a clothing line, man, and he was just like, yeah, bro, like, I just want something different. I'm not seeing what I want to wear. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, give us what you want to wear then. I'm talking about everything he dropped. I didn't get the
Man,
coat. The coats be
there's
selling
purpose
out
behind
man.
that.
You know what I'm saying? But everything they drop, bro, I grab, because it looks and it feels different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to Courtney and Kobe for the anti-cool, man, and everything they got going on, man. But his purpose, man, is greater. And like I said, growing in the darkness, we talked the other day, and he was like, man, bro, I'm so glad that you called, because I had this video shoot, and this is something new that not that he picked up, but I mean, he picked up photography at the beginning of the clothing thing, because he was doing all of his own shoots for his clothes.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, bro, it's so crazy that you called, because I really needed what you be giving me. And I'm like, bro, I don't give you nothing but love. And he was like, exactly. Because that pressure be getting to me. And when that pressure get to me, he isolates. And he like, bro, I don't need that right now. Like, I need just love. And that's what moved me to post that one joint the other day where I was like, I just want to laugh, get money, and feel love every day.
Man, that's life.
Like, that's all I want to
that's
do.
life.
Like, that's all I want to do every day. And this right here, this is the laughing. And it's getting the money, and I'm surrounded by love. And it all encompasses
Big
each
facts.
other, man, in one statement. So that's different on another level, man. But a lot of people, they
They don't want to put the work in. They don't want to build the bricks.
You gotta
because
put
the
the-
stairs isn't there, the elevator isn't there. They don't want to build the bricks.
Or, and I ain't got no time for these kind of individuals, right? If there are people who go through life and they make it to where they want to get, but they have not paved the way, and they not sharing the jewels. Here's a visual for you, right? This is my visual for life, right? We all are on a journey. We've been talking about journey and purpose, right?
sure.
Here's my visual, right? In life, it's almost like you walking through a forest.
Okay.
Every day you up and you making decisions, and those decisions can steer you left or right, right? And so you're doing one or two things as you make your way through this forest. These are people who become successful. These are the individuals who are successful that I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are guys who gain success, but this is how they walk through the forest. They just clear the path, and as they walk through, the forest closes right behind them.
Okay.
Right? I need the type of guys who got machetes in their hand.
Come on, man.
We need to knock that down. We need to cut that down so everybody coming behind us can see the path, right? That's your number one. If you have children and you not paving the way, are you failing? I don't care what you got, what you doing, you failing. So our responsibility, not only for our children, our circle, our friends, everybody. My responsibility is to share the jewels, pave the way, right? So you gonna get tired of me talking. That's what my guys know. I'm gonna hold you accountable. We gonna talk that shit. We gonna have fun. But listen, man, otherwise, shut up.
Stay away from me.
Yeah,
Don't just shut up. Stay away
I
from
don't
me.
want to hear because we gotta do the work.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody holding you back but you.
Right.
And when you really accept that it's you, bro. It's you. You got so many people. We talk about people becoming complacent, right? They just content with life.
Yeah.
We can break that down in every aspect: relationship, marriage, job. Where they live, residency. I tell people it's your responsibility to live your life like a movie, right? Life is a movie for me.
Definitely is.
Life is I'm the star, I'm the director, I'm the editor, I do the casting.
Yeah.
So if I don't like anything in my life, I make the changes.
Yeah.
Gotta
Right?
make the changes.
Why you got people? Why you so unhappy? You got people in your life that don't fit. Get rid of them.
Get rid of 'em.
Why you get rid of
mad.
them? Listen, everybody ain't supposed to like you. Everybody, I know everybody probably don't like me. I
Right.
don't care. It's too many people love me for me to
It's
worry
too
about the
many
people
people.
don't like me.
Hey, it's so crazy. This is how I know, bro, that I'm definitely
You wanna
marching.
know why that is? Because we ain't politicians, my man.
No, I keep it funky.
Hey, this is how I know that I march.
keep it a
Not a
whole
politician.
buck.
That I march to the beat of my own drum, and that what I'm doing is making sense because he just spoke to. He wants to be with the guys who's walking through the forest with the machete. My thing is break the barrel mentality. I'm not climbing out. I don't want to be one of the crabs that climb out. How about we all work together and break this motherfucker so we can all get out?
But see, you gotta.
So
But with
we
that,
can
with that,
all get out.
With that being said, you still gotta understand, man. Everybody can't go with you.
That
And
barrel
I-
exists for a reason.
Man, everybody cannot.
Yeah,
Go with you.
yeah, it's a
Well, no,
fact.
but what I'm saying is, who's y'all in the barrel with me?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, not society. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Because everybody that can't grow, what is it? If you can't grow with me, you can't go with me.
Yeah.
That thing. I know everybody isn't gonna reach their full potential all the time. So I can't say, come on, bro, we running and I'm still running and I got big ass and you winded. No, bro, we gotta keep running. So I know everybody can't go, but I'm saying this is the barrel. We finna break this barrel and we all getting out and we going in 4 different directions and then when we come back, you know what I'm saying? Now we got every corner of the world.
I think and Anthony said it, and I'm gonna say it in a political way or just kind of a quote that stuck with me since college is it's our responsibility, man, as humans to articulate a vision, right? Our purpose. Like how do you define your purpose and how do you manifest your purpose or how do you make your purpose tangible so that other people can see it and partake of it and it can remain when you leave this
you go,
earth? You know
right.
what I mean? When you gone. And I think that's the responsibility, right? It's our responsibility to articulate our purpose, man.
Definitely,
like
without
to
question.
define it.
All instructions ain't made to be difficult to fucking follow.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of why I knocked Derek Jackson, not because of the thing with his wife, but Hilarious Jess had put up a video. She was talking to one of her homegirls
she was a little bit above her in life, quote unquote, in business, money, whatever the case may be. And so she was speaking to how she had asked her homegirl, like, what was the blueprint? What did you do? Like, what were some of the things that you encountered, you know what I mean, the hurdles that you were able to jump over, whatever the case may be. And so her homegirl kept giving her the, girl, it was hard. It was a lot of long nights and I struggled. And wow, she like, bitch, I didn't ask you about you struggling.
Bro, listen,
Tell me
I
the
couldn't-
road. But hold on. Derek Jackson got down on Hilarious just talking about some, yeah, that's what's wrong with black people because we always want the easy road. No, nigga, you supposed to put the blueprint on the table so that everybody can see what you
that
did.
clown. I couldn't even
You know
watch
what I'm
this
saying?
video.
So everybody
like
can
that.
see and then take something from
I just
want
to say his name should not be mentioned in this podcast anymore.
Facts. I couldn't
Edit-
even,
edit
bro,
him
I didn't even watch that shit.
him
That shit was dead.
Hey, I saw that brother one time and I said,
Yeah,
man, he's a
yeah.
clown.
Team
Yeah,
Jackson,
I
what's
ain't
happening?
going. I ain't going. No.
It just I don't his whole ideology and how he got down on her for saying, hey, give, you know what I'm saying, just kind of reach back and say, here, go call this person, or after you call this person, then you do this and you do that, and then that'll get you on the street. What you do from then on, then you know I can't control because your grind will dictate everything else. But it's just like, bro, that's what I like about, you know, conversations like these, because once you do realize what that purpose is, you can say, okay, this was my purpose, and I can see that you are doing something similar to what I was doing. So here, let me put you in the same path to be successful. And I think that's what it's just going to take a lot of that. Speaking to going back to how we were talking about passing the torch or carrying the torch, you know what I'm saying? Having that blueprint for somebody to say, okay, well, dang, if folk did it this way, then I'm going to do it this way, and then just make it my own down the way.
A lot of people don't want to share the jewels, and I think I think it's almost like a mental thing where some people think it's not enough money out there for everybody. I think somebody in somebody's mind, if
They're
he
in the
get,
mental prison.
yeah, like if he get he getting mine. Well, that's meant for me. And you know, it's a reason they call it a power circle.
Right.
It's a reason they say, "Show me your friends."
Right.
sir.
These are facts. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. You heard,
sir.
you've been hearing this,
Right. Yes,
sir.
right? These are facts. You are making excuses for yourself. If you are not out pushing every day to break through that ceiling, then you just settling. This is what it is. No, we can't baby each other no more,
my
right?
soul.
So if you got people in your circle, you hold them accountable, allow them to hold you accountable, and get your shit together.
Right.
But to the people that got all the Jordans, that got all the purses,
Whoa, say.
that, no, I'm not. Fuck that. I'm saying it to all the people that got all the Jordans. You got all the Louis belts. You at the club getting tables and shit like that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for free information.
Okay. I
And
can
then-
rock with
now
that.
let me say this
can
because
rock with that.
I've paid thousands of dollars for people to coach me.
Right.
Like, okay, man, you know what? He really knows how carbohydrates work way more than I do.
Right.
I'm going to pay you because what I do, and sometimes I don't even finish a whole
Session or whatever the case
session
may
with
be.
a coach, but I pay you, so I have the right to ask you every question that I want to ask you.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm always down to help people get in shape or drop a tip there, but I know you don't have this. I know you don't have.
But I think that might be different, saying because your
That's a
career
service.
is predicated on
Yeah, that's a service.
giving somebody
Yeah,
that service.
that's a service
So
that you
can't
sell.
give that away. You got to pay for this because I'm gonna show you the right way. And if
Mm-hmm.
you follow, bro, listen. I remember I jumped in your inbox like almost 2 years ago. You had put up like this Hispanic cat, and he was his body style was mine, and then you showed him like a couple months later, and I was like, God damn, I see why he charged what he because you. I'm not finna hold you. James Conner, you was right. Bro, you are great at what you do. If people follow your steps, then the end result and what they're looking for, they will obtain it.
I know where
So
Aaron
that's
going
different.
though. Let me. I know where Aaron going with this. It's another. That's a segue though. But I'm gonna touch on it because you might not touch on it. This my brother. We've been
Right.
sitting here talking, right? This my brother. Like I've never asked this man for anything for free.
Right.
And I'll say this before Nick Cannon, when Aaron, when he was told no, and he decided he was going to start cooking on his own.
Yeah.
I paid him to come cook for me and my wife.
Right.
Before I bought my crib. This when I was in an apartment.
Right.
This my brother.
Right.
These are facts. And since then, on multiple occasions, when I hit him up and I'm doing two things, right?
Right.
I'm tapping in.
Come on.
I'm tapping in to his knowledge and his expertise,
Yes, sir.
and I'm also supporting my brother.
Yes, sir.
On my soul.
You understand?
Appreciate
I done put money in his pocket plenty of
sir.
times and have never asked for anything free. I understand what he was saying in that point.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother segue.
Yeah, no, but it makes sense because, like you said, what he provides is a service.
It's a service.
So listen, man. Nothing in this world is free. Let's start there. Absolutely nothing. I'm not gonna give you anything.
But there is a lot of free game that people just don't take advantage of.
But there's still sweat equity.
It ain't-
And using
it ain't
sweat
free
equity,
'cause
you
you
gotta
gotta-
put the work in.
you gotta put your
You
time
gotta do
in.
the
You
work.
gotta put your
But
time in.
I'm saying as far as he's concerned,
No, you got to pay for
yeah,
that.
you gotta pay for that. But I mean, us talking about Ripple, you know what I'm saying? That's free game.
That's free game.
You know what I'm saying? Us, putting a blueprint for purpose, or not so much for purpose, because each individual's purpose is different. But us saying, hey, if you're gonna go into cryptocurrency, here, let me show you what I did. That I can do that for free. But I mean, meanwhile, you put in the years, man. Listen, before you got heavy, I remember you was just out of control. I think you was on Rainer.
Little Incredible Hulk.
Action figure.
No, you was on
Avenue.
McDonough.
Oh yeah.
Like where the
When our
McDonough
house
Street Bridge
caught on fire.
Action
he
figure.
He wasn't action figure yet. He was just like put on a Carhartt coat, like, man, stay away from dude. He cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, and then you see the work when he gets to action figure. I'm talking to one of my guys, and he's like, yeah, bro, Aaron is definitely doing shows. Like, he's winning competitions. He's like, man, nigga ain't winning no competitions. Let me see a picture. God damn, what he been doing? So when you put that work in, oh no, you're gonna pay me for that.
But see, what I've learned with what I was doing, I learned that I had to be Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein.
Man,
I can't
this
put you.
nigga,
I
look at him.
I
Look
can't.
at it.
That's
I
a
can't-
bar.
Subject.
That's a bar.
Had to be the scientist.
Oh, that's
And
a
the
bar.
creation.
Because one of the things that people go wrong when you try to get somebody to help manage your lifestyle or when you want to do a transformation, it always baffles me when people say, well, how fast can I lose this weight? And I would love to say it's going to take you the same amount of years that it took for you to put all this fat on. It's going to take 20 years for you to get it off. Wouldn't nobody sign up for that shit? So what I try to explain to my clients, celebrities all the way down to the soccer mom, I tell them, like, I cannot gauge your intensity and your discipline level on how bad you want this. And I had to learn not to get so emotionally tied to people's success because I wind up wanting success for you more than you do.
want it.
And then you got people that is like, well, when can I have a cheat meal? Like, God damn, you've been having cheating meals for the last
You just
20
started.
years.
We on day 2 and you want to cheat meal.
Nah,
You know what
you've
I'm
been
saying?
cheating for
Talk
20
that
years,
talk.
and
know
now
what
you
I'm
want to cheat 2 weeks in. Sit your dumb ass down.
And I'm just telling people, you got to change your relationship with food. Food is only fuel to get you from point A to point B.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that don't mean that, I mean, I'm not doing shows anymore and stuff like that. But for me, there's certain things that I do. I may weigh myself every day. I might not say for you to do that, but I do that for me because I know, whoa, 7 pounds. All right, it's time for you to get back on the horse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You may not need to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of times people, before you want to work with somebody, you got to ask yourself, how far am I willing to go?
Right.
And how bad do I want this? And is it realistic? You got to have realistic goals when it comes to losing weight. And because one thing about transforming your body, it is one of the hardest things ever to do because
Indeed.
you work so hard Monday through Friday, whatever. You tell yourself, I deserve to go out on Saturday.
Right.
I deserve to have this. I deserve to have that.
And food is comforting.
Oh,
Man,
absolutely.
that's why they call it comfort food. Yeah, no, he was cooking for Dupree, bro, and he made them damn banana pancakes, and I was like, God damn, that shit.
The
look
man
good.
has his own seasoning. I just want to say that.
The
The boy got his own seasoning. You talking about you got the sauce. This man got the
He
seasoning.
got his own seasoning, man. Shout out
let-
to Insanely Fit Meals, by the way, while we sitting here playing.
I'm a sidebar for 1 second, man. I got a question, man. We are creatives in the room, man, I'll answer the question first. But what y'all listening to, man? What's heavy on y'all rotation? So I'm gonna tell y'all my top 4. We can go 4 or 5.
All right.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been rocking with real heavy. Anita Baker,
Always a classic.
Luther Vandross, Nipsey Hussle, and Lil Durk.
I didn't fall into the Nipsey phase with everybody.
Oh man, I've been on Nip.
I was
like,
on Nip early.
like
I
11,
didn't.
like
I'm not.
2012,
I didn't.
2013.
I didn't. I love his works. I love his works more so than the
Are
music.
y'all
but that's
watching
not a
his
knock on him.
interviews? Like shout out everybody out there watching and listening,
Jules.
bro. Like
Game.
everything we talking about in this podcast.
Yeah.
Jump on YouTube, just get down the rabbit hole.
I'm definitely with
get
his
on-
works.
get
Not
on
so
Nip.
much the music. He got a few joints that I did download after the fact, but I mean, I didn't want to be one of the dudes who like, man, you heard that new, bro? You wasn't listening to that,
Bro,
before.
I've been on Nip for.
I've been on Nip.
Where you at with it?
I cried when Nip died. That's real
I
talk.
didn't, but I was close. I told my brother, I was
didn't,
telling
but I was
Rocco, I
close.
was like, Rocco, you listening to Nip? He like, bro, I ain't on. Then he got in tune. I've been trying to tell you. What you listening to,
What
bro?
you listening to right now?
Man, you know, I'm deep, so I mean, cause I listen to everything musically, so I definitely I'm in the gym a lot, so you know
That motivation music.
Yeah, my music it depend on what I got going on, man. Definitely Nipsey. I've never he stays in rotation.
Indeed.
Man, I'll tell you what I'm anticipating because I probably rotate.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have to
man.
because I don't
do it.
I
man.
don't have a strong 4.
And it pisses me
You
off
gotta
that
have
he
a
dropping
strong-
right
No,
after
that
the
I can
birthday,
tell you
too.
a strong 4 that I love, but
What
I
you
don't have a
anticipate?
strong 4 that
What
I'm
you-
listening
tell me
to
what you anticipate.
constantly.
Fair.
I already know what he's finna say.
I'm anticipating this Jay and Nas.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you
On
was
that
finna say that
Khaled?
Kendrick Lamar, bro.
Oh, I'm definitely
Everybody waiting
let
on
me
K-Dot.
come on now.
Everybody
Give me
waiting
my
on K-Dot.
space.
You know what? I apologize,
Give
black
me my
man.
give me
Do
my
your thing.
You know what I've been enjoying though? I've been really enjoying the verses, and the Method Man and Redman verses was probably the best to me. This-
Better than
because it's real
better than
hip-hop.
DMX and
The-
Snoop Dogg?
yeah, because
Yeah,
you know
because
why
Method
for
Man and
me,
Redman was real
you know
hip-hop.
why for me,
Facts.
it was
That's fair.
like it was truly a concert.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
they got a
Yeah.
connection.
Super connection, and
that was
then
hip-hop,
then
y'all.
right
That was
before
hip-hop.
that, did y'all see my man Ronald Isley?
Man, that dude.
Listen, we was
I was
arguing.
finna
I was
elbow
trying to
my
figure out
wife.
was that really Ronald Isley?
I was finna elbow my wife. She was looking so hard. Man, slow down, man. Slow down. My wife, she likes that older man look, man. I just
But the reason I say because I just double back on Dave Matthews Band.
There
You
we
know what I
go.
mean?
Okay.
So
Ass marching on
you know,
that.
yo, come down, see, these my brothers. You see what I'm saying?
You already know.
That might not have went. That might not have went the
are
same way in another
creative.
podcast. Like, I think Kehlani had one of the dopest R&B albums last year.
didn't
Facts.
get recognized like it should
Facts.
have.
Yeah.
Shout out to K-Line,
Um,
he definitely bumping.
Hey, y'all
Yeah.
up on Tiny Desk?
Oh
Yes,
yes, every single
absolutely.
series,
Okay.
every single series. Mac Miller was hard.
Super hard.
Super hard. So music. I love where he was going musically
Right.
before he passed because he was in the transition music
definitely
with some of the
was.
dopest musicians.
Definitely was.
That Wyclef was.
Yeah.
With
too,
just
though.
them live joints though was insane. Them live joints in studio.
Absolutely.
Snow Allegra. Well, man, I got so many.
Snow was super dope, and her Tiny Desk so official. I didn't watch that.
Where
about
you
30,000
where you at with it
times.
saying?
Well, I'm always listening to some Dave Matthews. Always.
So
that,
tough.
Hey, y'all see him? He said always,
Tough.
always.
that Conway the Machine. I'm a big fan of Conway the
He
Machine.
blazing right now.
And then other than that, man, a lot of hip hop, jazz, and meditation music. I'm starting to. For me, I'm starting to get away from a lot of.
We definitely had that conversation.
Yeah, I'm starting to get away from a lot of rap music just because.
Bro, I need some Dirk in my life.
Oh, that Track Hawks. Man,
Hey,
look.
so I just picked Dirk up, man. I wasn't a fan of the drill music stage that everybody was in when it was popping. To be killing everybody. Just
Shout out to my daughters, man. They keep me in tune, bro. I got little youngins that
And
keep me
that's
in
what I was just getting ready to
Shout
say.
out.
My kids got me listening to Little
Indeed.
Uzi Vert
Indeed.
for whatever. For bro,
Uzi?
Little Uzi Vert. Like I
I'm
can't,
not hating on Uzi.
Listen, when we in the car and it's on and I'm on the highway
just
and
don't
I'm
sound right saying that.
man, listen, I don't know what to do with it, but with Dirk and then me and my wife, huge fans of Anita Baker. Huge.
Man,
Mm.
shout
I
out to
also
my auntie who
dived
passed
back
away,
into
yeah.
some India Irie too.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Soul.
Okay.
Soulful.
Hey, listen, if y'all ain't got Anita Baker greatest album,
Your house ain't never really been clean. I don't know who the hell cleaning your house if ain't no Anita Baker. I know what time it is when I hear that Anita Baker.
Listen,
When you
My
wake up,
wife,
you smell
yeah.
that
Oh,
pine
I know
saw.
what's going on.
I'm just
going
saying.
The next thing I'm gonna hear is vacuum, cleaning, everything. I know what's going down.
I ain't going down to clean it, but bro,
Smell saucy.
yeah. Listen,
You know when that breakfast is cooking in the morning, y'all finna wash walls.
Come on,
After
man.
y'all had this breakfast, it's finna be some wall
Caught up in
washing.
the rapture, bro.
Man, yeah, no, me and my
Oh,
wife,
that's
man. As a matter of
hilarious.
fact, one of my daughter's bedtime songs is damn, she gonna kill me, probably gonna kill me because the name of it won't come. It's not one of the usuals. It's definitely not one of the usuals, but it's in my daughter's bedtime. Like my daughter listens to music to go to sleep. Like she has a playlist of music that she listens to go to sleep, and it's my wife is heavy on Anita Baker. But I was raised in that same household, like Butter said. You wake up in the morning, you hear Anita, and you smell breakfast. Y'all finna be cleaning
in my
up.
house, I went to sleep listening. My father would play records all night. I went to sleep listening to music, and I woke up listening to music. It was no way in the world I was not gonna be somehow involved in music.
But the reason why I asked that is because some of my best memories, and I think we can all agree, is around that, right? When we really think through, like,
Talk
as
to me.
kids, what our parents listen to.
Man,
So I just want to shout out to all
Yeah,
the people
no.
out there watching the podcast, man. Make sure y'all spending that quality time. And I know as parents,
Gregory
we get
Isaacs.
older. Man, listen, don't be that dad that be like, I ain't listening to that. Turn back to what it. Nah, like get in tune with y'all family, get in tune with
without
y'all
question.
kids, listening to what they listening to, and
Man,
you know
my
what I'm
kids
saying.
listen to Michael Jackson. I got a 17
Yeah.
and 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
my son
I
5.
proposed to lady.
I
in my
came
life.
home one day. Let me tell you why we on music. I came home one day and I was in the kitchen and my son is in the living room watching this video on YouTube. And I recognized the song, but I was like, that don't sound right. And I went in there and it was when I discovered Kids Bop.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little dude by the name of Matty J.
Okay.
Right? And
Shout out to Matty J.
he had remade Outkast. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Listen,
No.
and my son was in there grooving to it, and I said to myself, "What the hell is this? Is this even legal? Get the lawyers on the line.
Wait, how they butcher Outkast?
How they
Nah,
man? And the little guy is, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. And he just and I'm like, yo, what is this? And my son like, yeah, this is. I said, man, and we had to go to school.
Definitely.
You had to get them in tune.
Yeah, I had to get him in tune.
We would have started with elevators.
We had to get
would
it.
have
We had
started
to
with
get it
elevators.
with everything, you know.
No, Quimini. Hands
Ooh,
down.
Quimini,
Hands
okay.
down. Hands
Okay,
down.
okay.
We got to get back to the man. Let me tell you, I'm so glad the era we grew up in, music, 90s R&B.
The best.
Man, won't you pull it out and throw a party this summer, man?
I
get
be.
behind
Listen,
it.
I'm gonna invite you to the crib.
Is J-Town Impact gonna be there?
Oh,
Man.
Lord.
Man, look, let's get a venue.
I'm just
Let's get a
asking.
venue,
I'm
and
just
let's throw a 90s party. Matter of fact,
Listen.
I want it to be outside, but I don't want it to be at Noah Park. Man. Let's find some space.
Listen.
The other night I was watching the documentary with all the producers and everybody that had a hand in The Reasonable Doubt.
I've seen that.
My God.
I've seen that.
Irv Gotti, Clark Kent, Jay.
ZZ Top, all of them.
That's probably Jay's best album, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Other than the Magna Carta. Other than the Magna Carta.
still can't mess with.
On some days, but it's up there.
On some days,
On
it
some
can.
days,
Dude, that joint with Rick, or the joint
But
with Frank
Reasonable
Ocean.
Doubt, though.
man. Listen,
Reasonable Doubt, though. That's Reasonable Doubt.
Dude, Reasonable Doubt, that's
I don't know.
timeless.
Magna Carta.
Facts.
I would say Magna Carta
Jay
was
so
right there
different.
with Volume 2, but it's not reasonable. Jay was in his shit during
He
Reasonable
was in his
Doubt.
bag.
Jay
He
is
definitely
so
was bad.
Jay.
Like,
Jay
that's his
so
best work,
different.
hands
Reasonable
down.
Doubt.
That's his best
What?
work.
Jay so different.
That Black album, Jesus.
I forgive your weak ass hustling. Just ain't you. What? Sometimes you just gotta forgive niggas. Like, man, I forgive you. You just ain't. You just ain't
You
with
ain't
it.
built for this,
You ain't built for this.
man.
And we talk about a true icon and success story. When you look at Hove, I just think there's no, I know Drake got a lot of number ones, and but there's no comparison to what that brother has accomplished.
No, Drake hasn't been as relevant to the culture
Nah.
as Jay has yet.
Jay-
I mean, he still got some time to do it.
Well,
but
not really, because the argument for Drake is he's not gonna have a non-stop album like what is it? What do they call it? No skips. Drake don't have a no skips album.
Oh,
Listen.
I disagree with
No,
that
he-
What
one.
album is that?
What?
What
His-
album
I'm
is?
gonna
Here-
show y'all.
here's my
Hold on.
thought. It's irrelevant.
It would be close
He
views.
could-
I would
listen,
give you views if that's
Drake,
the way
Drake
you
could
going.
drop 3 albums back to back that are no skips to me.
Right.
And this is my opinion. Nobody jump.
Right.
But what Hove has done to the
Because
game.
Hov speaking to that interview.
Come on, man.
Hov
It's
speaking today.
it's a whole
Y'all-
different
y'all
Hove
telling
the
me-
hustler.
Y'all
You
telling
talking
me? Y'all
Hove
telling
the
me-
hustler.
Y'all telling me 2020, 2010. Thank me
later when he was on the
ain't a
front
no
with the
skip,
black-
bro. That's a no
I didn't.
skip.
I didn't say that.
But
I
no,
said
what-
it
what
don't
he said-
matter.
Yeah, no.
I said
a
it
no
don't.
skip.
It do not matter. It's
Bro, the
not.
man had
But that's-
Jeezy, he
but
had
it
Weezy,
kind of does
he had
though.
Alicia
It kind of does
Keys.
in the sense of that's not a classic though. Like
I think
Reasonable
if you-
Doubt is a classic.
Doubt, bro,
That's a
come on,
cornerstone
And
in
even
hip hop
if- and
history.
even if
I'm not
Jehovah
taking nothing away
Witness-
from Drake.
No, nothing at all. Because
Bro.
the man is great.
Hove.
When the smoke clears, thank me later is gonna be a
You know
classic.
what? You know
It
what?
may be.
Remember Diddy said
The smoke ain't got to clear for Hove.
Remember Diddy
Smoke
said
don't got to clear for
No,
Hove.
I'm a
Hove
Hove
is
fan.
the smoke.
Yeah, he
I'm
is the
a
smoke.
Hove fan.
But remember, Diddy said 10 years from now we'll still be. Drake's still gonna be around. Drake gonna take his breaks.
Oh,
But Drake,
facts.
look at what Drake doing. He just took Dirk from Chicago and put Dirk where everybody can see him. And now look, Dirk on the joint with Chris Brown. Dirk got joints.
Dirk was
playing-
moving though. Before that, I would
was
say,
moving
yeah,
where?
he was
No,
on
where?
everybody project.
He was.
Here.
The voice, no, the
Here.
voice of the streets. Wale, everybody project.
Okay, but hold on now. Let's
You
not.
talking
I will,
about-
I will,
I'm not gonna take nothing away from what
say,
you're saying.
I will say, but Drake got it. Here's my thing with Drake, and no, this is smart. Drake do that with everybody though.
Right.
Drake jump with the Migos early. Drake
that's
jump,
how he stay relevant,
That's how
too,
he
though.
stay relevant in between projects.
But I'm
And-
just saying that's
and
a part of his greatness.
that
he
is
can bring.
okay.
'Cause I
Listen,
mean,
how
just
many names you
people
want?
know-
How many
people-
names you want to name that Hove put on? We
We
ain't got
can't.
enough time.
Yeah, we don't.
Ain't enough batteries in the camera, and you ain't got enough memory. You ain't got enough memory in your hard drive. You ain't got enough memory.
Hey, but by that same token,
You
though,
ain't got enough memory in your hard
by that
drive.
same token, how many people can name the song that Dirk was on with Wale? And you can keep naming them. Once he put that, bro, Drake shot a video in the Nike warehouse in Memphis. You tell me, I ain't on that with Jay, because if Jay pulled a string, Jay can do it. But come on, bro, nobody gets inside that warehouse, bro.
I'm not. You mentioned what I'm saying. I'm not taking nothing away from Drake.
Drake Cole, man.
My statement was Drake that guy.
Can't touch Hov.
But he can't touch
Nobody
Hov.
can.
What Hov has done to the game.
Yeah.
I would
Period.
agree.
Now, wait. not just because I met the man. Now I'm
Here we
talking
go.
little shit.
Well, when I was with Sean,
Nazir.
Ball. Now look, now Nas. Man, you got it. You cannot.
His
But
last
that's
body of work
lyrically,
was
though.
legit.
I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Here's what I'm talking collectively.
a body of work.
And what we've been talking about this whole time, we talking about legacy, journey,
definitely.
putting on, dropping.
Purpose.
Like what? Look at what Rock Nation is. Look at
Facts.
what Hove
Facts.
is. Look at the and we ain't
He-
even finna get into that man wife because that's
he's
his.
relevant to the culture. Like he's
Yeah,
Hey,
he's
Butter
relevant
said,
to the culture.
but if we gonna switch gears, look
Yeah.
at what he toting though.
yeah, he
Yeah,
relevant to the
definitely.
culture.
Definitely.
No,
Well,
that's
question-
why I asked that question though.
Yeah, no,
that
but
was
Drake-
a good. That was a
Yeah,
good
no,
segue.
bro,
That
I-
lightened the whole mood. I see what
Listen,
you're doing right there.
I don't knock Drake for anything, bro. To sing or whatever, bro. Music is music. I don't give a what he doing, but I think Reasonable Doubt and Jay got cornerstone albums.
He do.
Like cornerstone albums
He do.
You know
that
what?
you can like
You know
sit
what?
hip hop on top of.
I'll go as far as saying this. I think Drake has the ability and the potential to put a Reasonable Doubt out. I do. And it possibly could have happened if he would have gathered a couple of them. Because I like mixtape Drake more than album Drake.
Right.
Because there was a lot of songs that he had. Even
The one he just dropped with Ross. That's on the
Power.
mixtape.
Yeah.
What is it? Golden Roses or something like that. That's powerful, bro.
Lemon pepper.
I don't think
Well,
society.
I think that's gonna be on the new album.
I
That
don't-
Lemon Pepper and that Take whatever.
I don't think society would allow Drake to drop a piece of work that was so relevant as the Reasonable Doubt album. Meaning, it's so fast paced.
Yeah, music done changed. It gets
There you go.
absorbed
I see
so
what you
fast.
did. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
And we
Reasonable
come from that
Doubt,
era.
bro,
We come from that
like-
era looking forward to going to Best Buy to grab them
Bro,
CDs.
you listened to that CD for like months.
Well, you had
before
to
something
sit
else
with it.
came
You
out.
had
Like,
to
you
sit
had
with
to,
it.
Like, you knew exactly what number 8
But then
was.
is that not an ode to his greatness if he were able to do it then though? Because music is so right now and then tomorrow is something different. If he was to drop something and it was relevant at number 1 for 4 or 5 months, or not necessarily number 1, but in the top 5 for 4 or 5
It's
months,
gotta stand the
I
test of
think-
time, too.
I think
who-
that would be awesome.
So
completely.
then let me ask you this then. Who's done more for the culture, Jay-Z or Master P?
For the culture,
For the culture of black people.
Yes.
it's gonna be Jay. But Master P is up there. He's done. And I'm not taking nothing away from Master P. I study him a little bit because I love.
Well, do you mean musically or
No, I
civilly?
think he talking about
Don't
overall.
get on P because y'all know. Y'all,
Yeah,
I'm tatted with the
would
TRU.
Even, I would
so.
even probably have to say musically because the way that he changed the
Oh,
game.
he changed the game.
He
Oh, you
changed
mean
the
talking
game.
about far as teaching people?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because that's completely two different arguments. I threw up a post about who's a bigger icon, Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali, and you had mixed emotions.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
Icon?
What?
Yeah.
Muhammad
That's
Ali.
Muhammad Ali. That's without question.
Yes.
In the sense-
over
but
MJ?
that's-
What's your definition?
What-
Hold on.
and
What's
that's
your
why I say
definition
it's
of an
two-
icon?
It's
Yeah,
two
Jaden
completely.
Smith.
It's,
You know what I mean?
It's two completely. It's two completely.
Stop.
Yeah, nah.
Wait, you
He
taking
going
you
way
taking
too
Ali
far.
over MJ?
No,
Icon,
Yeah,
Never.
but
What?
But hold on. That's the argument. though.
athlete, or icon? What's your definition of icon?
Because Michael Jordan is an iconic athlete, though.
Bro,
Agreed.
He transcends. But so what
He's
you guys are
globally
getting-
relevant.
no,
Still.
no, you. What
Bro,
to me? I
their
think.
argument,
I say
their
this.
argument is gonna be what
Absolutely
Ali did for the
not.
people.
I say this.
And that's
Most
where
people
you
don't
have
know
to
that.
separate it.
Wait, most people don't know that. You really got to you got to study Ali
What?
past the movie to see what he really what Ali really stood for. You know what I'm saying? And most people ain't tapped
Right,
into that.
but
My
who's-
MJ is household. That's
Who's gonna
household
stand the
name.
test of time, though.
That's household
What?
name.
Who's gonna stand the test?
You
of
know
time?
nothing of
Ali or
Michael Jordan beyond his game and his. You don't know what's
Bro,
his character.
hold on, let me-
Other
let's-
than other than his drive on the court, which I respect amazing. But I'm talking about individually as a. You know what
So
I'm saying
that's
for me.
why you
Let me-
definitely didn't listen to what I said. I said because it's two different conversations. It's
Two
apples
totally.
and oranges.
It
because you
is.
don't know Michael Jordan outside of the court.
Correct.
But you do know
I
Muhammad
disagree.
Ali.
I
You
disagree.
don't know Mike outside of the court.
Think about one of the greatest black movie directors of all time, Spike Lee.
Okay.
Think about Do the Right Thing.
Right.
When Spike had on them MJ4s
Facts.
and Do the Right Thing, bro. Like you can't say that Mike ain't
Yeah,
an
it's-
icon.
no,
like
it's
that
cultural.
was.
I'm not saying he's not an
It's cultural,
icon.
But what I'm saying is when you start to talk about what Ali meant for the black community in the 60s.
That's a different
in the
code.
70s.
That's a different
So that's where
conversation.
I think you more relevant. I think that's a more
Amos,
I think that's a more relevant.
Amos, how
Bro.
dare you?
But no,
Who you-
no. He's not wrong
He's
in what he
wrong.
said. But it's
No,
apples and
it's
oranges.
wrong.
It's apples and
No,
oranges.
it's two conversations,
Bro.
definitely.
Yeah, it is.
100.
That's why-
But that's
why
irrelevant.
You threw the Jaden Smith,
Hey,
bro. I'm
hey,
not a little Uzi
It,
Vert
would,
fan.
it wouldn't be no LeBron right now. It wouldn't be no Kobe. It wouldn't
But
be
that's
none of
the
them
athleticism
without
of Mike.
MJ.
And that's where
that's
somebody-
iconic status.
Somebody said it perfectly.
So wait.
No, he is an icon.
Wait. So if you had to spend a day with one of them, who would it be? Muhammad Ali or Michael Jordan?
Bro, that's an unfair question.
No, it's not. No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
That's an unfair
It's
How
question.
is that
personal.
unfair?
Because what are you trying to achieve?
I don't
in
know.
that day?
I'm asking that man.
Because okay, so then if he
I'ma
aspires to be an NBA star, it would be Mike.
To
but
your
if he
point,
aspired to
no,
be
no,
a
no.
Martin Luther King, it would be Ali. Can
I'm
you
gonna
agree to
spend,
that?
I'm
know
gonna spend the day with
Amos
Ali.
Heath.
I'm gonna
I
spend the day
know-
with Ali. To your point, I'm gonna spend the day with
I
Ali.
know you are.
Fair. All right.
I think as far as I think it's a personal. I think it's personal. I think it's personal.
You see
Spit it
how,
out.
you see how Malcolm is on DA's shirt looking
Yo.
at Amos? He looking at Amos like
But that's why I said because I'm a reader. I'm a reader, and it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yo,
in spending
this.
that
stop.
Malcolm's like, nah, my brother.
My brother.
My
to
brother.
the east, my brother.
It, all,
To the
it
east.
just all depends on what you're trying to accomplish, man.
That's-
in that time. In that time,
That was a great question.
yeah, no,
I
definitely.
had to
don't
bring
even
him.
know
I
what
had
the
to bring
basis-
him back. I had
no,
to.
I don't know.
But hold on to his point though.
Tyson.
To his point, I felt where you was coming from.
Yeah.
I felt where I wasn't fit. I wasn't fit to
Yeah, no, you
flip flop
can't
on
fry
on
it.
my
Yeah, no,
point.
you can't fry it.
Huh?
Hey.
Malcolm was about to be
Hey.
looking at me like I'm.
I did.
I felt him.
I did.
That's coming from a man with just as many J's as me. I know how many J's that
And
man
that was,
got.
that
can't
was
keep up with y'all.
that was my point, bro. On my post when everybody was saying Ali. It's like, well, why the fuck are you wearing Jordans every day then?
Ali ain't came out with no fresh kicks. Yo,
Oh no, Amos, watch this. But that's the iconic nature of Jordan that you still wearing his shoes 30 years after he dribbled the basketball.
Agreed.
On some real shit though.
That's why it's apples and oranges.
That's a whole
why.
nother podcast. I would
is.
love to be a part of that podcast.
Without question.
Let's talk about Brandon. Let's talk about how Jordan has influenced the global like Nike wouldn't be Nike
Nike would not
without
be Nike.
Jordan.
never.
Nike would
Like that's
not
a
be
whole
Nike.
nother podcast,
And
man.
you know what? And a lot of us probably own 5 to 6 rental properties if we weren't buying Jordans
I
either. So
swear
what
to
the
God,
hell?
5 to
Hey,
6.
Nah,
hey,
that
but
let
we-
these fat they figure something
Hey.
else to trick their money off on, bro. That's facts.
Gucci belts. The
That's
Gucci belts.
facts.
we all come from kings and queens too, though.
Amiri,
So
Facts.
like, if that's what, if
$1,000
that's
jeans and shit, Robins with fucking
You know what I'm saying?
rhinestones on your ass, they would have figured something out.
Man,
Hey,
wow.
Black Picasso 1014 on Instagram, man. That's where y'all can find me at. Black
Find my man
Picasso
at Black Picasso.
1014.
Where can they find you,
Black
Sane?
Picasso 1014.
Aaron underscore Sane. That's ARRON underscore SAIN.
Oh, is that on IG? Is
That's
that
on Instagram.
Okay.
That's on Instagram.
Find me on
Where
the
can they
gram.
find you at?
Man, I'm pushing a new agenda, man. Bradley's briefcase on IG.
Okay.
Facts.
Bradley's
I like
briefcase on
That's what it
IG. New jewels coming, man. Man, I gotta drop jewels
Man, kill
every
'em.
day.
Hit them over the head.
Every day. Aaron know about that Monday morning motivation. He used to text me at like 6 in the morning, like, yo, I hope you about to drop that Monday motivation. He used to
That's Aaron.
Yo, he used to hit me early on my way to the office, like,
Accountability.
yeah, I hope you about to drop
But
these
see, you
jewels.
know what's crazy? I used to do that with him.
Yeah.
And then me and you used to have
every
conversations
day.
every day. You
Every
was driving
day.
to school.
Every
Say-
day.
Hey, you know what, bro? It's very iron sharpening iron is very effective.
Facts.
Just the fact that you anticipated his Monday morning motivation, and then you and Amos have. It's the same with Dennis Pittman and myself. Bro. We talk every morning. I feel like that's necessary
It
because
is.
that energy from them conversations. Not to say that I need it propels me, but it carries me because that's positivity being spoken into my morning, and then it just matriculates into the afternoon and then the evening. But
Because you know what? You gotta constantly be connected and have conversations with people just to remind you. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not trying to hog the podcast to talk about, getting fit and stuff like that. But that was one thing that I did do when I first started my journey doing this. I connected myself to people that was about health and wellness. So you got to figure we're talking about growth.
Right.
And development and stuff like that.
Man, don't put us in that game banking
I mean,
conversation.
I guess I meant.
Y'all might not have caught that.
Did it just come out so
but
effortlessly?
I'm
That's
just
the
saying.
old saying.
Swear to God.
So
Show
what
them
I'm-
the pitchforks on your chest.
So what I'm saying is,
your chest out.
what I'm saying is, at some point during the conversations when we leave here, somebody's going to be talking about growth in something. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Whether it's mental, spiritually or something. So I behoove you to get connected to people that are constantly going to bring up what the agenda is
Okay.
on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love talking to these guys. And I really appreciate these two coming on this podcast with me, because I wanted to vibe and set the tone with two good brothers that feed me
Right.
inspiration and stuff like that,
That's
because
valid.
that's how I am where I'm at right now, amongst
That's valid.
other people that help me out too. You know what I'm
Indeed.
saying?
That's valid. So give them where to find you one more time, Amos.
Man, Black Picasso, BlackPicasso 1014.
Where you at with
on
the butter?
Instagram?
Bradley's briefcase.
That's on IG.
Bradley's briefcase, man. A lot of. I'm gonna be launching a platform pretty soon, and where you'll be able to tap into all the jewels, from the stocks to the crypto to the starting your business, getting your credit straight. I'm about, like I said, that machete chopping down this forest, man, so we can all get on the right path, man.
do it.
Let's get this bread.
How do they find you, Sain?
ARRON_SAIN. That's Aaron Sain. That's on Instagram. Facebook, I really don't post too much.
No, that's cool.
He be in the shadows.
He definitely be.
We all in the
We all about to go right back in the shadows, man.
Ain't nothing
Trust
wrong
me.
with that. I appreciate y'all
Yeah.
coming out of the shadows, man,
Yo,
to come sit and talk with me, man, and build. And I can't wait till we do it again, man, because this experience was quite beautiful, man.
Oh, it was great,
I
man.
appreciate y'all, man. And,
Indeed.
black men getting together, talking about things that's important to us is what we need to see more as a community, as a people, as a culture, as just being men.
I agree.
That said, it's your boy DA. I appreciate y'all rocking with I Just Want to Talk. I'm going to catch y'all when I catch y'all. It's always love. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.